All right, guys, how's everybody doing? Listen, this is kind of a little bit different, and we kind of threw this together, but we are live, and we got a lot to talk about. I want to say hi to my guests. I got Ironton Auditor. How are you, Terry?
I'm doing great, man. How you doing today? Hello to
Uh,
everybody out there in the chat.
I'm doing great. I got a pretty good workout in today, and I'm still kind of exhausted. I realize I'm old, so it's a little bit harder than I have to remember. So I got Anthony with me as usual. Anthony, how you doing, buddy?
Hey guys, how you doing today, Chad?
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Also got NCR News. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. How are you, man?
Awesome, awesome. Of course, I got my number one man, Bits and Pieces, with me,
Hello.
and we got the bounty hunter who's literally on the trail of some pretty violent fugitives. We got Mando Mike. Mando, how you doing?
Pretty good, man. I'm kind of in the same boat as you. I worked out earlier and I'm dead tired, but somebody's got to get chilly and put him in his place.
That's right. That's right.
Which we all know, put him in his place means that he's got to get either on all fours or he's got to bend over or he meets Mr. Sparky.
I'm telling you, man. No, I'm telling you, I want Chad to make him tap out. I want to see him beg.
Yeah, it's funny because like every single time I talk about this, like somebody's like, "Hey, man, I don't know, I'd like to see you knock him out," or the next one's like, "No, you got to choke him. I want to see him tap out or whatever." So, and I'm like, I really don't care. I just want to whip his ass. I mean, like like I just think he needs it. Like, and I'm not saying like I think he really does need it for like an ego adjustment. You know what I mean? Like I think the guys just have problems.
You know what? I just want to hear him call you daddy. That's all I want. I don't care if you punch him. If you make him tap out, don't stop until he calls you daddy and tell him.
Oh Lord,
That would be amazing.
Daddy.
Help me, Daddy.
I wish I could do that, but I don't think I can. I think that would probably be against the whole.
Hey
The whole
guys, if
idea
you
of
excuse me
Kentucky
one
Athletic.
moment, I'll be right back.
Sure.
Let's get her.
But the
Did you ever
reason. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, did you ever see Bloodsport?
Yes, I did actually.
If you get him into a tapping position, don't let go until he says "Mate."
Oh my gosh.
Just hold the Jean Claude and be like, "Sit,
Oh
sit."
my gosh. Well, how about this? How about I promise I won't feel the first tap on me. How's that? I'll wait. I'll wait till the ref actually jumps in to actually separate. How's that? So,
That works.
That works.
but the reason and real fast, we all know here on the panel what's going on. But for and let's say hi to the chat. Obviously, we got a lot of names in here. Let's see who we got. Let me go
We
back.
got we got Jesus in here.
We got Jesus in here.
We got Jesus in here.
Oh, Jesus, save
You
us,
just,
Jesus.
you
Boss, I'm
went to a
sorry.
big time, like
I
you said.
swear, I'm supposed to be at work. I swear.
Oh my gosh.
Okay,
I don't even know how to respond to that, to be honest. But hey, Jesus, how are you? So that's kind of a broad thing to cover. So
oh my God,
Den-
Jesus is here. I feel honored.
that's what we were just saying. So Dennis, how you
Holy
doing?
Jesus.
American Pride, Ohio, what's up? Appreciate you guys being here. Lojo, how are you doing? Yes, I actually did know that I've seen that you'd changed your channel name, just FYI. Let's see who else we got. We got soon to be Mrs. Bits. That's coming up. When is that? That's
It's in October. End of
October, yeah.
October.
Yeah.
Do it on Halloween and you can make it themed.
That's what we're doing. We're kind of doing a Halloween thing, dress up and stuff like that.
Well, it's
Yeah.
only fitting. It's only fitting because from what I hear, when you get married, they just end up sucking your soul out anyways.
Oh my!
Oh no. I'm excited. Like I'm super stoked for it. Like
yeah. Man, you know what? Honestly, I really have no complaints about being married. My wife might have a few complaints, but I really don't. So I guess that's the way it goes anyway.
Well, she keeps trying to tell you put the toilet seat down.
I know, but honestly, I think it's. I mean, I could argue just as much of why don't you just put it back up? Why don't we go that way, right? So,
Well, because you actually want to sleep in the bed and not on the couch. That's why.
Exactly. And Scumdog, hang in there, buddy. We got a lot of the creators that are going to live stream. They're going to be popping in and out. But if you hang out long enough, I'll try to get you a link and get you in here to chat with us too. But listen, here's the reason that we're actually doing this, and we're kind of throwing this out there, so kind of impromptu. We are trying to put together, as a lot of people have known, that we are trying to put together a streamathon for Saturday. And as a reminder, Saturday, July 9th, this upcoming Saturday, is the date where Chili will not show up to sign a contract. So I will be there in Ashland, Kentucky, as I have said that I would, and I will be there. And we're going to have, through the course of the day, we're going to try to cover as many hours as we can consecutively with live streams from different channels to promote St. Jude's donations, which was the original reason for all this anyway. So we are trying to do something positive. And what I want to clarify to everybody so that there's no confusion, there will never be anybody affiliated with this whole plan, this whole live stream thing, that will ever ask you to donate to anything other than directly to St. Jude's. This is just to St. Jude's. We don't want money sent to us. We don't want money sent to anything that, even the larger channels that do the chats or whatever, super chats. If you want to do that on your own accord, that's you. But anything that's affiliated with this directly goes to St. Jude's through a link, in which I think Miss Mandy has already posted in the chat, but I'm sure we'll keep it going.
Now, I was going to say, do not, if somebody says send money to a portal before you send it, do not do that.
Please.
That's sketchy shit.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. It's usually anytime anybody asks you to do something like that. I mean, I'm not even saying in it. I'm not even saying that specific about Chili or anybody else. But if anybody asks you to do that, that's probably something you should really look into deeply anyway. When St. Jude's has a very simple process on how to donate, you don't need to donate through any kind of portal. Okay, donate directly to the cause. That's what we're asking for. Okay. So, and I just seen in the chat, what's the line on Chili showing up? Yeah, let's hear that. Let's see what the chat thinks about that. What are the odds on him actually showing up? You know,
of 1%. Sorry,
I'm going to say less than that. Which, I mean, you know, you and I talked, Anthony, on your stream there that you know, with him getting the dental work and stuff. I just don't think that anybody who is actually planning to do an MMA fight is going to go get dental work done.
Anybody who's going to spend, because even minor dental work can run you almost a couple of grand, who's going to spend that money only to come get their ass kicked in a few months?
So he's just going to go to Arizona to get a shot in the mouth from the sound of it, right?
And it's not from a dentist.
Oh.
Maybe the first time.
Right. Definitely won't be the first time.
So he's not getting the dental implants in Arizona? I thought that's what I heard.
I don't know. We don't know what he's doing. He might have. He kept saying he was going to the dentist, but within that live stream, later in that live stream, he stopped to bother another officer who was giving, by the way, a teenage child a ticket. Someone was like, well, what happened to your dentist appointment, dude, that you were bugging the cop about, that you had enough time to stop within the same live stream to bother somebody who got pulled over?
Exactly.
So who knows if he was actually even going to a dentist thing? He probably was gonna go meet up with another guru or one of his lovers.
Bobby Law.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Well, like I said the other day on my live stream, or I think it was on yours, Anthony, I actually have a very good idea of where he's at, almost down to the house, based off of, and I won't dox him here, but based off of a name that popped up on his screen as being I can't remember if it was the name on the smart TV or the laptop he uses, or if it was the Wi-Fi name that was on it. But I found the name, I found the house, and I don't think that guy's wife realizes just how crazy Chili really is. And yes, I said wife.
Oh my gosh, Archangel, read that comment. You'll have Archangel to deal with. Oh my gosh, somebody called me a legend. Oh, you're so. Come on, that's like one of the kindest things I've heard. But you're so misinformed.
Don't cut yourself short, man. Don't cut yourself short.
Send me legend right now.
But I definitely
Come to
appreciate
fight,
it.
you will be the legend.
Absolutely, we'll take that.
Yeah, Chad, listen, man, don't cut yourself short until you're standing next to me.
Oh, well, true. Okay, yeah, yeah. 'Cause it's funny because like very few times I actually walk in a room where I'm a small guy, but by the way it sounds, I would definitely be a small guy in that room. So that's for sure. As we know, what's funny is one of the guys in our gym at Tataris, uh, he is fighting a guy this Saturday. He is fighting a guy that is 6'5" and 300 plus pounds.
Wow.
Yeah, he's a
Man, I wish
monster.
I was down that small.
Yeah. Yeah, this it's going to be something else. I mean, so, but we'll see how he handles jiu-jitsu, because he's definitely going to see it.
Well, that's exactly it. From my limited on-the-job experience, it's not so much the size that matters; it's knowing how to use the size in the
Sure,
proper way.
sure.
That's
Well,
what she said.
You know what's funny is like as jiu-jitsu is concerned, the only thing, because I mean I am a pretty strong guy. I mean I've lifted for years and I'm pretty strong. And the only thing that I really consider my strength to be a bonus for is finishing submissions. There's a lot of times where I'll grab something that I don't have exactly perfect, and I can usually just kind of squeeze it out and find it into a good position. So, but that being said, the Brazilians actually taught position, submission. So everything about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is based on angles, positions, putting things in ways that makes it very, very difficult. So, and
Both,
that's
both,
kind of the name of the game.
both in the ring and in the bedroom, right? That's all that matters.
Well, as you
Position and
know,
angles.
Chile only specializes in finishing.
Yeah.
We don't stop.
And B girl, thank you very much. I really do appreciate that. You guys have been so, honestly, every time I get on stream or video, I'm reminded, like I'm nobody, guys. I'm a small town policeman, and but this just it really does just kind of come down to the fact that this guy, in my opinion, goes around and he is the classic definition of a bully. He goes around, he does nasty things to people, and just so happen to be people in uniform because he knows they can't defend themselves because they're trying to hold themselves to a higher level of professionalism. And he does this because that's how he knows to do it. And in my opinion, that's a bully. So I don't like that. And I think somebody needs to shut him up. And I decided I would be the one to do it. So, and it doesn't bother me a bit.
I was bullied in high school and middle school, so I knew plenty of guys that are exactly like Chili. Probably why I don't like them very much. Actually, I'm sure it's why I don't like them very much.
Well, you know what? We all have reasons. There's multiple reasons. Let us.
There's lots of reasons to not like Chili. There are plenty of reasons. I don't even want to give you the list.
I just don't like him because I'm jealous of him. He's got bigger tits than I do.
But Anthony, don't forget, he's got those buttery lips.
Buttery lips.
Buttery.
Stars, just for the record, I'm not built for Taekwondo. We train a little bit of kickboxing, Dutch style kickboxing, Muay Thai in the gym. I am not a kicker. I mean, I can kick Chili in the head because, I mean, if I step really high, I'll step over him. I think he's actually measured more in like the Smurf. Remember how they used to say the Smurfs were 3 apples high? I'm pretty sure Chili would just be a short Smurf. But
apple and a half.
He's going to get leg kicked, I promise. And when I leg kick him, I'm definitely going to wake him up. So.
I just want him to go on a live stream with just one of his eyes swollen shut.
Oh, he
won't do it.
You know that will be the first time he'll have a live stream where the camera is forcing the other directions. Oh
my God, this would be so epic.
When he's literally got a police officer at his window, and he's still making sure he's in screen.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Like, I mean, oh my gosh, like seriously, man. I mean,
okay.
Do you guys ever wonder if he kisses himself in the mirror?
I think he does.
Like you know he definitely does.
You know what? I just thought of this. This would be awesome to see. If I could get to that fight and see that fight happen, just Chad pulling the Ivan Drago from Rocky IV, looking down at him going, I must break you.
Well, Anthony, here's the thing. Of course he kisses himself in the mirror. He's got to have the mirror out just to find his little dick, and then, You're supposed to kiss after you play with yourself, right?
Well, you know what? Allegedly, he then takes that mirror, lays it down, pulls out a razor, and maybe some white powder. I'm just saying allegedly. I don't know. Those pupils are very small. That's all I'm saying.
Well, it's not the only thing on this small.
I want to address it. Holly, what are you talking about the gun issues? I'm sorry. I may not be
So-
up to date on
Because
Okay,
he's
so
carrying
Chile has a permanent restraining order on him out of California for domestic violence.
Okay.
He has I believe it's a 44 that he carries around with him.
Mhm.
According to Chile, he was gifted that 44.
Yeah, Sovereign Soul knows is the full. He knows that story.
Yeah.
And
Now,
he's got two other weapons as well. He's got two other guns.
Yeah, my understanding is that if you have an RO, you're not supposed to have any kind of possession of a firearm, especially domestic violence.
Right. Well, and generally speaking, it's an automatic disqualifier. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, obviously, we obviously pulled his criminal history, I'm sure, with the department, but I never seen it. So it just depends on. Sometimes there's disqualifiers on there, and sometimes they're not. And in a lot of states, a restraining order and a protection order are two different things. So it just depends on the state and the way it's actually worded. So I don't know. I'd be speaking out of context if I knew. I don't know. But it doesn't matter because he's getting these two guns right here. He's getting gun right, gun left.
You need a hype man like Jimmy Hart.
Hey, you know what's funny is because the ECC company that actually owns the cage fighting thing, they actually have a pro wrestling thing as well, right? And this I'm not making this up. As God be my witness, this is true, okay? And he says the promoter actually told me, he said, man, he's like, I seen your videos. He's like, when you're kind of like talking smack to Chili, he's like, dude, he's like, when this is over, do you want to do some pro wrestling? I was like, no, I really don't think I do. After I get my butt kicked, I don't want to be slammed through chairs and tables and stuff. So.
That'd be hilarious.
You need a stage name. You need some finishing moves. Your big
yeah.
dude, you probably do a choke slam.
Oh no, I want to do a stone cold stunner on his little ass.
Oh no, dude, you gotta do Rikishi on him.
The stink face.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Oh
Although
wow.
you might enjoy that a little too much, but
No. He's got to pull a fabulous moolah. Just slam junk right into his face. Get him into the corner and just junk in the face.
Awesome. So let's. I want to try to get us back on topic. Somehow we went from me doing a WWE move on him, but nevertheless, so Saturday, tentatively, we're going to start off, Anthony, at
9 a.m. guys. We're gonna do mine. I will be starting off the live streamathon. I will be doing mine early in the morning at 9 a.m. on the East Coast. So if you guys are up that early and want to come join me, I'll be live streaming for about 2, maybe 2.5 hours. And we're just going to watch Karen videos, funny videos. We're going to make jokes. I'll have guests. And we'll just talk about St. Jude's. We're going to talk about everything you guys want to talk about. It's just going to be a real fun live stream, and
Awesome.
We'll get the word out there.
Awesome. And here's what I'm asking, and I want everybody in the chat to understand this too. As Anthony comes close to closing up, he's going to provide who's going to follow him. So he's going to say, oh, by the way, I'm getting ready to close up. However, such and such will be coming on, right after I'm finished here. Make sure you check out their channel, and we're going to keep it rolling like a snowball all day long. Okay. And as far as me, just so everybody knows, I really will have a very full day that day. Saturday, the very first fight's for ECC, and because I'm coming up to do a cage signing in the cage is what the word is, I will not be able to live stream it. However, I'm going to record it, and then I will post it as a video either later that night or the next day, okay? So that we can actually see what actually goes on or whatever. But we're going to be really, really busy all day Saturday. We're going to make good things happen. We're going to make money for St. Jude's, and we're going to hopefully get in the ink that Chili's got an ass whipping coming in September. So either way, there's going to be some awesome things going Saturday. So that's the main objective, is to make sure we get that word out. The main thing right now that I want to communicate with everybody is that as we do this, and the real reason I wanted to do this is we've already touched on it. Everything that you donate, please donate directly to St. Jude's. Once again, I'm speaking for all of my panel guests here, as well as everybody else who's going to be streaming. Please only directly to St. Jude's, and there's a link that I'm asking everybody to share. Okay, this is a big thing, and I don't want anybody to be able to look back at this and think anything negatively. We want this to be a positive thing. We want to know that that this is blessing a community and a good charity, and that good things are coming from this, and that's what we're asking. So, by all means,
Captain Chad, if I may, I actually am doing something to sweeten the pot for anybody that wants to donate.
Okay.
I'm going to share the screen to you. So what I'm doing is I am collecting funds for Imperial credit chips. So
Okay.
What that means is I have 15 sets of 4 Imperial credit chips, and they're epoxy resin, and they're just slightly bigger than a quarter. So it's 15 for a set like this. You get 2 gold and 2 graphite silver. And the way it's going to work so that everybody knows the transparency that I'm actually going to do is every step is going to be screenshotted. Every order you're going to be in the loop of it being packaged, it being sent to you. And then on July 9th, July 10th, the day after, I'm going to do a live stream and show where I'm donating all the money that was given. The only thing that's going to be extra that's not going to be in the donation is the shipping, and that's $9. But that's
Okay,
it.
awesome.
Everything else, I'm not making any money off of it. And to be completely transparent, to make this set, 15 of them, it cost me $30 out of my pocket, and I don't give a damn about it.
Awesome.
The other objects that I have is a battle axe that I used for MegaCon. That's going to be a silent auction. So on my stream at 8 p.m. Eastern on my channel, we'll do the whole reveal who the winner is, everything like that. And again, same thing, screenshots of the entire process. Everybody will be in the loop. On my stream on the 10th, I will show every single step minus personal information, of course. But, the names, the amount that was received, and everything, the shipping, the donation. It's all PVC plastic. So it is con friendly. It has a leather wrap on the handle. Another
Awesome.
creator, Miss Jennifer, who I believe is still in chat, is throwing in a Mythosaur skull or the Mandalorian skull.
That's cool.
That's
Roughly
cool.
the same color. The red's going to slightly vary depending on the materials she's using. Instead of it being a diamond shape, it's going to be actually squared up so it's easier to frame.
Cool.
And I have these also, which were projects from a while back that I just don't have the time to get to.
No, Miss Mandy, there's nobody backstage.
They're all epoxy resin. All of them except for the 2 on the right are going to be $5 a piece. The 2 on the right, the gold and the graphite and gold, are $8 a piece. Again, all the money that I get, the whole screenshots and every single step by step is going to be on display. If anybody has questions, always hit me up. You can hit Miss Mandy up. You can hit Anthony up, Jennifer, or Cliff Reynolds. But I just want to put it out there. You guys are already doing an amazing thing by donating St. Jude. This is just a little icing on the cake for you.
Absolutely. That's awesome, man. Thank you very much for your efforts. That's awesome. Absolutely.
Not a problem, brother.
Absolutely. And I want everybody to know too that after this goes on and we get all the ideas for the fights and all that stuff, I'm going to try my best. Should the fight actually take place, I'm going to try my best. Oh, and that's another thing too. I got off topic for a second, but they're going to actually do a pay-per-view for this fight. I was not going to release that, but there's going to be a pay-per-view for this fight. However, I'm going to request that I am still granted access to be able to get at least somebody to stream this, because I'm the one getting punched in the face. So I'd at least have a little bit of pull for that, right? So
allegedly.
Oh yeah, here's something I actually and you can take this to heart, but this is something that I learned a long time ago. When I teach defensive tactics. I teach weapons retention. I teach women's self-defense, and I teach like church security groups, different things that I do that I teach through different organizations. And this is something that I have preached since day one. And I tell this to all of my students. If you're in a fist fight, you're going to get punched in the face or punched. If you're in a knife fight, you're probably going to get cut or stabbed. And if you're in a gunfight, you're probably going to get shot. But none of those three mean that you're going to lose. And it doesn't mean the fight's over. You keep fighting until you're dead. And that's the way that we're going to keep pushing. And that's why I started that little saying too, when Chili says we don't stop or whatever. Yeah, but we don't quit and we don't lose. So you better be ready to go with everything you got, because I can promise you I am. I can promise you I'm going to bring everything I got. And that's the way it's got to be. So, and we're staying focused and driven, and he better too. He better quit worrying about driving his self-driving van and more and more.
It is not self-driving.
Educator, me and you need to do a stream on Dale Brown and his Detroit urban survival tactics. So I want an expert to break them down.
I saw it. Is that the dude that dresses in the black leather gloves and stuff?
Yes, and the Bear Grill pants.
Yeah, he's a little out there in my opinion.
Well, Chet, like I said, man, beat the crap out of him, but please don't stop until he starts calling you daddy. And that's all I request.
I will go until I have to stop, according to the Kentucky State Athletic Commission. How's that?
Gotta knock his meth teeth out.
Yeah, exactly.
Or what's left of them.
Yeah. So, but we're that's the thing that I'm kind of taken back by, and which almost and once again we don't know, but if he is getting dental implants, he is not serious about taking this fight, because nobody in their right mind would go get implants and dental implants and then say, oh, well, I'm going to go take an MMA fight in a couple months. I mean, that's just stupid.
A waste of money.
Exactly.
It's a waste of at least a couple thousand.
It's one of two things. Either he's not going to take the fight, or he has that much confidence he thinks he's going to win.
And not get hit in the mouth?
Is Jesus still in the chat? Jesus, if you're there, say something, would you? Because Chili's going to need you in September, buddy, because he has no other way of winning.
Chili's going to be meeting you in September. I'm sorry, did I say that out loud? My bad.
Well, it's going to be a brief encounter.
You're gonna see him for just a second before he goes, "You're not gonna be up here, son," and then that's when you'll fall.
After he pulls a Chris Tucker.
Yeah, Art, I've seen that. I actually commented, Art, on his in his chat and said, "Keep your word, show up July 9th, hero," or something like that.
Please.
But he's not going to show up to this anyway. So
apparently, he got interviewed. I heard he got interviewed by a porn girl. That's what I heard. Saying.
Well, Kim was worth it.
Like recently?
Like I think today or yesterday or something like that.
He got one now?
Hold on, just 1 second, because I want to make sure that I'm correct.
Are you sure it wasn't?
Someone told me that there was a girl who interviewed him. Smitty sent me videos of this girl interviewing him. I was shown a clip by somebody that she had been in a porn.
Okay, first of all, Smitty, we got to know how you automatically were able to find the porn images.
No, he didn't. Smitty didn't tell me about that. Someone else told me about that.
Oh, okay.
But Smitty sent me the videos of these videos of Chili getting interviewed by this woman. Her name is Laura something. Hold on, I got it right here. Her name is Laura De Laguna.
I wanted to look this up for science.
For research.
Right.
AZ just confirmed for me. He says yes today, and AZ, her name's Lauren.
Oh.
So
That's right.
So they did.
You guys are going to look it up to do some one-handed research, right?
No way.
I will have to study hard on this research paper. No, thank you. No, thank you.
I guess I'm not hearing from NCR for a while.
Is that her?
That's the name.
Oh my god!
Is that serious?
I just became an innie.
Oh my
became
gosh.
celibate.
No, that's not her. That's not her.
That's not her. It's not her.
No. Her. Here, I'm going to copy this link and I'm gonna. Her name is. Sorry, her name is Lauren De Laguna. It's
Scumdog,
called.
don't be acting like that. I see you in the chat. I know
I
what you're
think it's
doing, dude.
called
You're trying to
Real
cover
Talk
up.
or something like that. Yeah, Lauren De. She only has 245 subscribers, ladies and gentlemen. So hard hit. This is gonna be a real hard hitting interview. I think
Oh
it's an
yeah.
hour and 42 minutes long, and
Oh God, I hope she's making money off it. I don't see a woman standing near Chili for an hour and 42 minutes for
she's
free.
got to sit right next to him, and he's wearing one of his dumb shirts. We don't
Yeah, but
stop something. Overturn Terry. Sorry, that's
of
what it says on his
course.
shirt.
Well, you know
His
what?
favorite.
What's that guy? Have you guys seen that guy that is it Robert Frank, the big dude that's all jacked up and he's like always doing those screaming videos about working out? Have you guys seen him?
No.
Oh, you gotta look him up. You gotta look him up. He always does. He's screaming in the in the camera, and he's like talking about lifting and stuff. He's always talking about roids and stuff. And one of his little sayings or whatever that he said, he's like, "Today's Tuesday." He's like, "It's International Chest Day, second day in a row." He's like, "Because we all know that when the pecs are popping, the panties are dropping." And I was like, "Oh my god!" I could see Chili being like, "No, seriously, like that's why I'm working my pegs. I'm hoping for somebody's panties to drop." So,
Bubba will be writing him a letter from Cell Block C.
oh my gosh, yeah, he's something else. So, but yeah, I don't watch his stuff. So what he actually puts on there, I don't know. I don't ever really pay attention to him. I always hear something later. He's somebody will share something with me or be like, "Hey, did you hear about it?" No, I didn't hear. Then somebody tells me, I'm like, "Yeah, that's about right. Yeah, it's not real bright."
That's why when I message you about something Chili does, I just go, Chili did this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'm like, I know you didn't watch it, so Chili got pulled over by CHP today. We're gonna
Artie does the
later.
same thing. Artie will send me a text and he'll just like go all the way through it. So like when I open the text, I got like 2 paragraphs and he's like, "That dumb bastard," and I'm gonna try to say it in his voice, "That dumb bastard Cholito," or whatever he says,
It's a pretty good one though.
Yeah, that's pretty good, man.
Yeah.
So but yeah, so I'm like, yeah, that's about right. If it's something stupid, he's gonna find a way to do it. So,
Yeah.
but and here's my thing, and I'm gonna say this to the chat too. I want you guys to know that if Chili wanted to join this panel right now in order to do something positive for St. Jude's, I would by all means send him a link without any.
I would drop out and just go to the chat so I can see it.
And I absolutely will not argue with him. I would not. It's not about that. I don't want to hear about his views on stuff. I don't talk about that. If he wants to talk about St. Jude's, if he wants to talk about trying to do something positive, let's do it. Because that's what this has all been about. And for whatever reason, he's more interested in going out there and causing trouble and trying to be an asshole to people, which I don't agree with. And that's what drives me crazy about him. It just drives me crazy. So, yeah, he's a little bit different, So, but it's not something that I don't hold a personal against him. Let's see. Let's take a couple things from the chat here. We be posting the channels and the times. Okay, here's what's up. That's what this video is about right now. We're trying to. Okay, we know that Anthony's going to start it off that morning, and then we'll just keep running down through the list. I was not planning on doing a stream Saturday. My intentions was I'll probably be bouncing around from everybody else's streams, and just jumping on as a guest for a few minutes here and there and touching base on what I got going on through the day. And then as the night goes on, whoever's running live stream. While I get to the event, I might try to hop on their live while I'm at the event for a little bit or something if it's possible. And then hopefully throughout all of this, I'll be able to, bounce through all of them. That's my goal anyway. So we'll just have to see how it goes. But I know we're going to have several, and there's going to be several that aren't even on the panel tonight. So we're going to try to keep them going as far as that. Oh, by the way, that's what I was meant to say a minute ago. See, there we go again. I always lose my train of thought.
Damn, that old age, man.
I got a sneak peek at the title belt that ECC is putting up for Chili and I.
Ooh.
I didn't know if you guys knew this or not, but ECC Cage Fighting actually created a title, a real belt title for our fight. It's the First Amendment championship belt through ECC cage fighting, and it's legit.
That's awesome.
And let me tell you something, it is badass. Like, it's by far the coolest ever title belt I've ever seen. Nothing close. It's like I've never even seen the idea of what they've done with this is just off the hook.
Does it have chili in a dress?
No, it does not have chili in a dress. But it does. But it does. Let's just say this: it's very patriotic. I don't want to ruin it.
Oh, that's so. Oh, I love.
But it's very.
I love it already.
It's very patriotic. Okay.
When are they going to show it to the public?
At the signing, it will be unveiled in the cage with me. So I'm hoping I will be able to have that on video and share it with you guys, and let you guys see what it looks like. And I figure I'm gonna go ahead and see what it looks like on my waist. I mean, yeah, because I told him to order it. You may as well order it for my size. Yeah, because it's like it's not gonna matter.
Because the Ohio champion is the greatest champion of all, and Chile doesn't stand a chance. Come September in that cage, you ain't gonna stand a chance, Chilito.
Yeah, he's not got a chance. He knows he doesn't have a chance.
I cannot do 80s wrestling promoter. I can't. Maybe Anthony or Mando.
Yeah, no, not me.
Let's see what Blueberry has to say here. Go ahead and get the shot out.
Well, now, I want you to look at this here. I want you to look at this here, brother. Chad's going to walk into that ring. Chili's going to waddle into that ring on all four legs. And Chad's going to bend him over that knee and start spanking him like he deserves. Chad, you're going to make him call you daddy.
Oh, by the way, that's something else I want to talk about too. I had actually people ask me about the weight classes and stuff. Tentatively by September, I'm hoping to be sub 240. So I'm going to be somewhere shy of 240 is my goal. Okay. And he says that he walks around at 200 plus. I don't know. I'm just saying what he says. I know that the Kentucky Athletic Commission said that as long as we agree and we sign the contract that says so, that it's irrelevant what we actually weigh. However, he also says that he would prefer both fighters to be over 200.
Oh well, that's
I gotta ask. What am I counting my chickens before they hatch? I mean, are you referring to him being a fighter? Because I can tell you right now, just open 100%. I've openly said I can't guarantee I'm going to beat him, but if you expect me not to talk smack and hype this fight, you're crazy. It's always going to be.
Well, that's the start of every fight.
Well,
let's be real. Chad, let's just be real here. The only thing Chile has ever fought for was being first in line at the glory hole.
To be in
or
to be servicing.
Yeah, that's yeah. I'm not going to go there, guys. I'm really not. I'm not.
But in all seriousness, did he not say to you, let you hear that he wanted to do a streamed press conference of you guys trash talking each other?
Yes.
So he's the one who started this
well,
game.
let me rephrase that. He said that he wanted to do a streamed conference with us hyping the fight. That's the words he used, okay?
And every great fight in history has had its moment where both fighters stood there and talked shit before the fight.
Sure.
That's every fight.
Sure. And I'm going to give you a heads up just to be real. I don't hate the guy. I really don't. I don't hate anybody. It's not in me. But I don't agree with him. And honestly, quite frankly, in my opinion, I think he needs a relationship with God, because I don't think that he's got one based on the way he acts. Or if he does, he certainly needs to get some stuff straightened out.
You forget he is the new Jesus.
That's right. As a matter of fact, yeah, I forgot about that, bitch. Maybe you can touch on that.
How does the old Jesus feel about this? Jesus, if you're in the chat, let us know how you feel about that.
Yeah.
So, Vince, do you care to talk about your video a little bit, Vince, about what you were talking about that day about the new Jesus?
Oh, okay. So apparently he compared himself, or basically called himself Jesus, baby Jesus, so along those lines. And I watched the video. I thought it was goofy, just that one part. But I was like, man, you really comparing yourself to Jesus? Like, are you fucking kidding?
And let me just interject a couple. I'm sorry, Bits. I know you wasn't, buddy. I know you wasn't. I was just kind of playing along with you too. And as far as I think it's Ashley Dawn, I actually do pray for him. Yes, that's honest. Yes, go ahead, Bits. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. I was just gonna say, like it was pretty funny, just him saying that kind of shit. Just him and his ego, just it just has no end of how big his ego is. Uh,
How the hell does he fit that ego in that damn minivan of his?
Okay, so I got a question for good old boy down there. He said that Chili wasn't being disrespectful. Now he's saying that he's not being disrespectful. So are you admitting that you are Chili?
No, he's not. I'm pretty sure he's been pretty active on my channel. Yeah, he seems like he's legit and he's a good dude. I think he was
just
I think he was just really trying to play the sportsmanship thing. Like, hey man, stay focused. Don't get too Apollo Creed on this. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's face it.
Okay.
You know, I think that's what he was saying. So, and I'm not. I talk a lot of smack because I'm having fun with it. But
All right. Well, then, in that case, if that is the case, then good old boy, I apologize for insulting you by saying you're Chili.
how dare you? That's what. Why don't you just cuss the man out?
That's almost like the ultimate insult.
Yeah.
Like I think like I could be called a lot of things. Like someone could call me a bitch to my face, and I'd be like, meh. But if you were like, you're just like Chili, I'd be like, those are fighting words. Let's do this. You know, like.
yeah.
And I don't have
No,
a very short fuse. You know.
Anthony, man, listen, it's all right. We all know you're not just like Chili. You're bitch tits.
You know what? It's really sad because I'm 5'7", so when I hear that he's like between 5'6" and 5'8", I'm like, oh man, he's my height, but I know I could kick his ass. I know for a fact I could kick his ass.
I don't, and that's the thing is, there's been people ask me, and they'll ask me like genuine questions, like, do you think he's got fight experience? I think he wrestled. Absolutely. I really believe 100% that he's got cauliflower ear. And generally speaking, that is something that's something that you don't get unless you're a grappler in some way. Now that does go in line with him saying he was a freestyle wrestler, because freestyle wrestlers usually don't wear headgear. And when your headgear is obviously is designed to prevent cauliflower ear. So I do think, Scumdog real fast. I have we have a training crew at the gym. We have cutmen and corner crew. But I do think he was I think he was a wrestler. And I've had people say, oh, he says he's strong. Okay, I'm gonna give you a heads up, guys. He is strong. He's very, very strong. He's a very stout guy. There's no doubt in my mind he's legit. He's strong. Now, whether that's testosterone based, whatever, I don't know. I don't care. Top Welder, what's up, man? But yes, by all means, I do think he's strong, and I do think he's probably a pretty decent wrestler. However, there is a difference. There's a difference, because I can tell you, when I was a kid and I boxed, I can promise you this: the first time that you get hit solid, and I mean that like as in a pretty decent, right hand, or if it's a right-handed fighter or something like that, and you step into something pretty decent and you get hit pretty solid, it changes everything. And you kind of lose focus. If you've seen, how many times have we seen top-notch UFC or Bellator fighters they go out there and their skill is sharp. They're sharp. And they go out there and they get tagged a few times and they're just like reaching up. And Scumdog's in the chat, he's a grappler. He can tell you, if you're a jiu-jitsu guy and you're just sticking your arm straight up in the air trying to push somebody off of you, you're begging to get armbarred. And somebody that is a jiu-jitsu practitioner knows not to be doing that. And yet you see these guys and they get tagged sticking their arms straight up because it's a natural defense. Oh shit, I just got tagged. Something's not right. Okay. Mm-hmm. So that being said, I don't think he's ever been hit, not legitimately. And I know, because of my size and strength, I know he's never been hit like I'm going to hit him. I'm positive. So I think he's going to have a lot of shock factor. Even if I don't knock him out, I think he's going to lose a lot of that oh shit factor as soon as he gets tagged. Just my opinion.
I think he's going to lose almost all of it. And I did do some follow-up research from Masshole and stuff, and I cannot find a single college wrestling team that he was ever on. Right. So if he was doing wrestling, it had to been high school.
He the way that I understand is he wrestled for a traveling team in Alaska in high school. That's once again that's something that's I don't know anything about. I was never a wrestler. I boxed all the way through high school, and then after high school, I started, as I went to the academy, I started grappling, and I got in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So that's it's kind of Jiu-Jitsu is the opposite of wrestling, if that makes sense. Wrestlers scramble. Wrestlers are fast. Wrestlers are strong. Wrestlers are all about base. Wrestlers are all about takedowns and controlling where the fight is. Jiu-Jitsu is all about taking what you give me. So if you do get a takedown, I'm not going to panic. I'm going to slip into half guard or full guard until I can get a sweep and I get the upper and until I get an upper position to where I can start doing damage. So it's kind of completely different. I don't think about a scramble when I'm actually rolling. Even if I'm rolling with a guy who's actually not as, and rolling is like a jiu-jitsu term for sparring, if you will. But if I'm rolling with somebody, I don't roll hard. I'm a very big, strong guy. I mean, at one time I was close to 500-pound bench, and I mean, I'm a pretty strong guy. So I got a lot of power to be able to push stuff around, and I'm heavy, so it makes it a little easier to push stuff around. And you'll never hear somebody that actually rolls with me talk about how strong I am, because when you roll hard and you actually use your strength, you're going to burn out very fast. So you have to kind of be like Bruce Lee said, you got to be like water. You're just being resistant to kind of wear them out, and that's my goal. So his wrestling, I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now, even if he does get a takedown on me, he's not going to try to double leg me because I'm too big and I'm too strong. He's not going to try to double leg me. He's going to try an outside single is what he's going to try to do. Or he's got some, I think it's it's a freestyle wrestling throw, one of the wizard throws. It's an upper body throw that he talked about before that he liked. But either one of those, even if he does get those on me, then he's not going to like what happens, because if he doesn't have a lot of grappling experience in jiu-jitsu, he's still going to end up on the bottom, because I'm going to sweep him and I'm going to get on top of him. And then when I'm on top of him, he's going to get ground and pound until he's seeing stars.
I mean, he does like it on. He is a bottom boy, so.
Yeah, I was about to say he really does like being on the bottom.
Yeah, it's his favorite.
Yes, I think Scumdog. I think he did say it was a Japanese wizard. That's a kind of a. I still think that's kind of a stupid takedown to try on a guy like me, because the way that the Japanese wizard is you actually kind of like fall to your knees as you do the throw. It's kind of hard to explain, obviously, like just talking. But for somebody that's so much shorter than me, he's going to have a hard time. He's going to have a hard time pulling it off, I would think. So, he's. I'll be honest with you, Stars. I think he's more likely to go high than he is. I don't think he's going to try to double leg me, because even if I wouldn't get a good sprawl, I'm so big and strong compared to him. I don't think he would trust falling into me or falling into to me being able to get him and possibly even submitting him from standing. If he keeps his chin down. So it just kind of depends, but. Nevertheless, I mean, I'm sure he's got skill. I don't really ever mean to underestimate him, because I'm just kind of talking smack. But I'm sure he's got skill, but I don't think he's a fighter. That's just my opinion. It is an arm throw. It is, but it's kind of like over the shoulder to your knees. It's kind of like in my opinion, I kind of liken it to like the Japanese Harai Goshi, but it's more you fall to the knee instead of through the inside of the kick. So it's kind of a little bit different, but it's an over the shoulder type throw. So, and I'm sorry guys, I'm reading the chat as I'm talking. So, but we're super excited about Saturday, man. And I really honestly think things are going to be really awesome. I think we're going to do some great things. And I think this is just the beginning. And by the way, I didn't post a video today, but I did get my miles in, and I was brutally about dead. It is so humid. And I went and tried. Justin, what's up, man? Justin saying hi to everybody, by the way. I'll go ahead and highlight that.
Yo, what up, Justin?
But I went and done some trails that are like they're black level trails, the way they're rated as far as the mountain biking trails. And as hot as it was, oh my God. Like, I'm serious. Like, I was ready to crawl back to my truck. I bet I lost 7 or 8 pounds of sweat today. Crazy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, just brutal. So, but tomorrow I'll be back completely fight training. I'll probably still tonight work a little bit of stand up on the bag. And that's another thing too. Like, people's like, hey, why don't you show some videos of you training? And it is just really hard, because I'm usually by myself when I'm working stand up, like working the bag. Or the guys in the gym, man, they don't want to stop training to video me. So it's all like, we're just in there together, right? But also, I'm not going to ever show any big clips of me training until after this fight. Like, I don't want to give him anything. If he does have anybody that works with him and they can pick something apart from my stance or the way that I work my feet or anything, I'm not going to do that. So even if I do share videos of my fighting, it's going to be very short. So we'll see.
I'm sorry to interject.
Please do.
Somebody posted just a second ago in chat about Glenn Serio's leg sweeps.
Leg sweep.
Yeah.
Well, I like the one I just saw. Who was it?
Was it Bob? I might pass out from the smell.
Yeah.
Well, Dennis Long made a very good suggestion. You should get Kate and put her in your corner. That'll fuck him up psychologically.
Oh God,
Yeah.
yes.
Hey, we got one leaving here, guys. B girl's actually stepping out. So you have a good night, and thank you for hanging out with us. And make sure to tune in Saturday and keep these streams going. Let's get these numbers up high for these streams, and hopefully we'll be able to share. Maybe just maybe be able to find a way to share a little bit of video of what's going on at the event too throughout the streams if I can.
I'm not sure what time I start.
What time did we say before, Bits? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
I
have a worse memory.
do you want to do early or late? What do you think?
I mean, it doesn't matter to me, honestly.
Hey, Terry, are you going to try to do late? Or are you still planning on 10
Yeah,
p.m.?
he said he was like 10.
I'm
10
just going to fill in wherever anybody doesn't need me, wherever she can fit me in. I'll go late, I'll go early. I mean, it's just whatever y'all want to do.
Miss Mandy, are you still in the chat? Is she still in the chat? Do you guys know?
I'm not sure, but I can message her.
Well, my stream.
She's still backstage listening, isn't she?
Yeah, my stream starts at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Usually Saturdays we run about 3 hours.
Okay.
Monty said it was 6 to 8, I think. So that's what I told her. I have a really terrible memory. Psych meds just like make your memory just go away. So she said 6 to 8. So
Mando, you're still live streaming tonight, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna actually step down so we can go do that, guys. But yeah, mine will be in the morning, 9 a.m. Bits and Pieces said 6 to 8. Mando's gonna be at 8 p.m. and Ironton's probably gonna be around the 10 o'clock hour.
What I would like to do is as our channel stream, find out who's following you. That way you can pass it on. Who's next and who's next. And we'll just keep leapfrogging it if we would, please.
Yep, absolutely, guys. I'm gonna get down. Thank you for having me up here, man. And
Anthony,
guys,
appreciate you, brother.
No problem,
Yeah,
guys. Go make sure to hit the St. Jude's link while you're here.
Yes,
and
please.
I'm excited to see every single one of everyone on Saturday at 9 a.m. over on my channel, Anthony Vasquez. Please go over there and subscribe for Saturday, and it's gonna be fun, guys. So thank you for having me up, and I'll see everyone later.
And if you're not subscribed to him or Mando Mike, please go do that. The content's awesome. It's good. It's good humor and educational. How's that? So please check them out. Check out.
Try to do our best.
Absolutely. See you guys. I got to hit little Mando room, so I'll see you guys.
It's good to see y'all. Y'all have a good night.
Thanks, man. Good to see you, Terry.
Thanks for coming up, Mando.
No problem, man. Captain Chad, you have open invitation over at my channel.
Same to you, buddy. Anytime I'm on, you're on.
Sounds good, brother. Bye.
All right, have a good one. All right, we got the Iron
right there.
Yes, they are, and we got the Ironton boys here left. So, as a matter of fact, that's kind of what the chances of the three of us just being together here after that's kind of weird, isn't it? So,
well, yeah, it just depends on whether you believe in coincidence or divine appointment.
Well, you know what? Jesus was in the chat, guys. I'm just saying. Okay, I'm just
Jesus was in the chat.
Must have been a sign.
Yeah, Justin, you came in late, but actually we had Jesus in the chat earlier, so I'm not trying to rub that in your face, but you could say that my live stream's got divine attention.
Was it good divine intervention? Is that what's called?
Yeah, well, I was going to say attention, but yeah, definitely. So
it makes me want to watch Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, what was that? That was in Isaiah, wasn't it? The scripture that he was quoting.
I think so.
Yeah. Man, that was such a cool movie. Man, I'm
I love that
is
movie.
anybody else in the chat? You like the Quentin Tarantino stuff? Put a 1 if you like Quentin Tarantino.
Love. Oh my! I haven't seen the new one. Shit, what's like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood? I think.
Yeah, I don't know if I've seen that one either. Actually, which one's the one that he done right before that? Well, oh wait, was he involved in the shoot, man, my mind just went blank. The one where the Buster Scruggs, did he have something to do with that one?
No,
That
I don't think.
because
I
that
think
just
that
had him
was
all over it. The feel of it, did it not? Just had that kind of.
it did. That was. I'm pretty sure that was the Coen brothers or one of the Coen
Okay.
brothers.
Okay.
But the way the Coen brothers and like Tarantino, they kind of share kind of the same type of
dark, twisted feel.
yeah, same type of feel usually. Which the Coen brothers, they did. They've had a ton of good movies, but Old Brother Where Art Thou is one of the Coen.
One of my favorites ever.
Oh,
hey,
I love
Captain.
it.
Hey, Captain, did you see Stars' comment about us being the Ironton Trinity?
I did not.
Are we like the Father, the Son, and their bits and pieces? I mean, how do we fit that in?
I think we're more like Larry Moe Curly, to be honest.
I'll take it. Why not?
Oh, but you know what? Hey, we'll take it, right? So
why not?
You know, if you would have told me even 3 or 4 months ago that I'd be sitting here doing a live stream on YouTube and have 50 people in a chat, I would say, yeah, right. I mean, I'm not a tech guy. I'm not even this is not even my field, you know, but you guys have made it so awesome. I like my subscribers. I don't even know how to, because it sounds like I'm just blowing smoke when I say this, but I generally look forward to reading the comments and see who's actually like going back and forth with me in the comments, because you guys have become like my friends. Like, even though I don't know your real names or your faces, I still know exactly the screen names, and you guys have become something really tight with me. And I really, truly appreciate you guys. And I mean that. And this has become something, you know what? I'm not making money from YouTube, and I don't really care. I don't care. It's nothing to me. You know what? I'm blessed. God blessed me with a decent job. I'm not rich by any means, but I'm not hurting financially. I'm okay. And the fact that I have the opportunity to spread something that a lot of people have an ill view of police, but I'm allowed to be on here to show you guys that's not always true. I'm a huge constitutionalist. I'm a huge freedom guy. I don't want to hurt anybody. I hate arresting people. If I don't have to arrest them, I don't want to. I can promise you I hate it, because I hate taking somebody's freedom. And for me to be able to be here in this platform, be able to show that and show who the real side of us is, and make some really, really close people friends along the way, man, I'm blessed, brother. I'm blessed. Loving it.
Hey, Captain, you're one of the very few that probably have an auditor on their channel right with them on the same panel.
You know what? And here's the crazy thing, okay? You're one of my auditors. You're directly auditing my department. Yeah,
and I mean, we don't necessarily have to scream and holler at each other to get it done, do we?
Absolutely, that's the way it happens. You know, if you do it right, you get it. You'll get it the first time.
That's what I think. I think. Yeah, I said in some of the videos, it's like not all auditors are bad. Just like I say, not all cops are bad. But you have people like Sweetie that puts a bad name to the auditor scene. That's just me. I don't know about you guys, but you know, from what I could tell, Ironton Auditor, he's doing good. I haven't seen him do anything crazy, but you have people like whenever they say they're doing auditing, the most part, that's all harassment for the most part. But then again, like I said, you have good auditors that actually want to help people, but most of them on YouTube are just dickheads, like for no reason.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you for not putting me in that category. I appreciate it.
Oh, no, dude, you're good, man. You're good.
Absolutely, man. I can't imagine, honestly, with the way that I have been, the way that I've been introduced to the auditing community, I have to tell you, I really honestly thought there couldn't be any way that these guys could have a positive outlook on it. And honestly, there's so many of them that I've kind of become privy to since that I'm going, wow, those are really just they're guys. Those guys are out there. I mean, they're just way out of left field. Like, dude, what are you doing?
Mm.
Okay. Also, if anybody's taking notes, Josh just texted me. He was going to come on tonight, but he can't. Josh Abrams will be on at 5, his stream.
Oh, yeah.
So if somebody can take a note of that, I don't know if Miss Mandy's still in the chat or not.
You talked to Masshole about it?
I don't think Masshole's going to be involved in it. I don't know that, but I don't think. Let me see. Let me go back real fast. Something else here real fast. What I'm thinking of. Just got a message from Triggered Limey. Let's see. I'm always up for helping a good cause, and I like the inspiration. Blah, blah, blah. I'm happy to do a pretty long stream. Whatever 11 p.m. BST is. Anybody know what that is? Is that the British Standard Time?
Did you say BST?
Yeah, because it's Limey, and I know he's over.
British.
It's not bullshit time, is it?
It might be bullshit time.
British summertime.
I'm checking my email
Summer
right
or
now.
Standard, maybe. I don't know. Is that a standard time?
Yeah, it's called British summertime.
British summertime.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, I'm glad there's somebody out there that knows these things.
Not me,
I had to Google that.
Well, there you go. Somebody knew. At least it was Google.
Yeah.
Yeah. See.
That's how it is at work. Like, I don't know anything, and I automatically bring up YouTube. They say, "How are you learning everything?" I say, "YouTube."
You'd be amazed at what you can learn from YouTube. If you're seeking education or a skill to do something, man, you'd be amazed at what you can find on YouTube.
Yeah. You know how many things I've actually projects I've tackled because of YouTube?
Makes it a bunch easier, don't it?
Yeah, I mean,
some of these guys are really good at making videos and showing you how to get it done. It's everything from mechanics on up, man. You need to know something, check it out. The worst that happens is you still don't feel comfortable trying it, but take a look. You'd be amazed.
Yeah, I mean, I do IT and graphic design for a living, so YouTube's pretty much my best friend.
I'm with you. I've learned a lot of things. I'm a guitar player, and there's so many things that I have learned musically from YouTube. Going, oh my gosh! Like all this time, I had no idea how that was played, and I just figured it out. Chris, I am 6'2". Right now, I'm 6'2", roughly 260. I will be sub 240 for the fight, so that's what my goal is anyway. I think I feel my best at just around the 240 mark. I'm a big guy. I got a 53-inch chest, so I don't carry. If I carry any less weight than that, I lose a lot of power. I become really small, and I know it sounds crazy to think that a 230-pound man's small, but I lose a lot. So, see, AZ Jeep Girl says, Chili's worst nightmare. I'm a woman. Oh my gosh, yeah, you are. Like you're seriously. I'm a woman in former law enforcement and worked her way through law school. Oh my gosh, so you actually know the real law too. Any of your coworkers train? Scumdog. Some of my coworkers train in different things. And I get guys and they'll come in, they'll bounce back and forth. We train a little bit together too, here and there. So, it just kind of depends. Sometimes you get them motivated, sometimes you don't.
Art has a description for you there, Captain. Art
Today, Chili says he's 5'8", 210. I'm going to say he's about 5'7" and probably about 190. It's just my guess.
Yeah, he was way shorter than me. And I'm 5'9". There's no way in hell he was 5'8".
I'm 5'4", and he's not that much taller than me, I can tell you.
Is that right, Terry?
Is it right that I'm only 5'4", or that he's
not much taller than me?
But both of those are correct statements.
I really, honestly, I never dreamed that you were only 5'4". I don't know why I'd never paid attention to it.
You stood beside me, man. You stand too close, I got to look up. I get a crank in my neck. I got to look so high.
You know how many? I answered you. You know how many people actually say, "There's no way you're 6'2" until they get beside them and you're like, "Holy shit!" You really
I'm pretty sure I could climb on your back and you wouldn't even notice that I was up there.
Yeah, I'm no small guy. Oh, sorry, Art. You're right. He said so. So it's true. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to take his name in vain.
Yeah, what are you thinking?
I know. Old Chili who art in California. Scam artists be like,
Arizona. Thought it was Arizona now. Do we know where he is?
I don't know.
Do we even care?
No. Yeah, I he's kind of like I think he's kind of like a virus in my opinion. And I say that, but I shouldn't. Yes, Smitty, you certainly can. Hey Terry, can you put the link in the chat, please? You still have it?
Yeah, I can. Give me just a second.
I'm kind of limited what I can reach because I got my computer stretched out here. So, but yes, by all means, yeah, you can come on Smitty. I think Scumdog's gonna come up too. But yeah, we're gonna have a good time, man, and this is gonna be something fun for everybody too.
Yeah, be pretty exciting.
Absolutely.
Yes. I had a pretty interesting. I posted that video.
I saw your
earlier.
Video. I saw you. I figured there was something behind that. There was something that prompted you to do that.
Yeah, there was. Well, I was on, where I do play games. I've been on the internet forever. I seen an article today about this girl. She quit her job because she was getting death threats to her and her family, and I posted a video, and we had one of Sweetie's followers come on there making comments, and she didn't watch it or because she got the whole message just fucked up. Like, I don't understand what she was thinking, but for some odd reason she thinks that Sweetie's her friend, and I said, he's not your friend. But like, she was trying to justify just saying that telling me to get off the internet because I'm getting harassed, which I'm not. Like, I'm not. I actually kind of revel whenever we get all these crazy people making comments. I just laugh at them. It's the best. But that one was out of left field for me.
Oh, it's
I thought
crazy.
it was hilarious.
Dude, I'm telling you, that dude that I was telling you about before, I don't know what his screen name is. It's something JPap or something like that. Is anybody in the chat familiar with that? Have you guys seen this guy being creepy on my page?
Oh yeah.
I do remember the name JPap in the
It's
comments.
It's something like that. I don't know. But this guy, that's like the third account that he's made because I've blocked him because he just dude, he's got so bad that he showed up on my Facebook and started commenting on like the public posts on my Facebook. And I've had to actually like block him on there because he's just talking outlandish, crazy stuff. Like, he's 1 minute he's saying like, we're going to be friends. And the next minute he's like talking about how, he wants to knock me out and just weird, crazy stuff. And, then he starts talking, stuff about my wife and just like, man, come on now,
Yeah.
Yeah. So
not cool, bro.
Well, that's when I invited him to the gym, because he said he wanted to fight. He wanted to see if he could beat me in MMA. So he just kept on. He's like, I won't take Chili's place. And I was like, dude, no offense, but the reason that people want to see me fight Chili is because they can't stand him. But they don't know you. They don't know you, so it's not going to benefit to show up. I don't know. He's out there, so yeah, I do have a stalker, Mark. I think I really do. He actually said some really weird things to me, like just really weird. So I posted it anyway. My wife was kind of getting my attention. That's why I was kind of distracted. But so I posted a link because he kept saying, and I can beat you, I can knock you out. I got heavy hands. And I said, okay, dude, look, here's the address to the gym. I don't know where you're at or whatever, but here's the address to the gym. If you want to come by here and spar, and I'll spar with you. And then if you want an MMA fight, if you really do want to fight MMA, I will see what I can work out for you. I'll actually try to get you a fight, right? And his next comment after he said he was going to knock me out was, you're not going to hurt me, are you? And And I was
What's the point of
like,
fighting MMA then?
yeah, Smitty, what's up, brother?
Hello, Smitty. How
Hey,
you
can you
doing?
hear me?
Dude, I think we can actually hear you this
Can you
time.
hear me?
I can hear
Oh,
you.
hallelujah.
See, we've made progress, man.
Oh, man, I tell you. Some reason my phone, I had to switch to my tablet because my phone wasn't working with the mic. I can hear with
gotcha.
the headphones, but I can't talk.
I
don't
gotcha.
know. What's up, guys? Terry,
Oh,
Bits and Pieces,
How you doing tonight?
Educator.
absolutely. And we
And
got
I don't
Scum
know
Dog
who
with us
the
too.
other. Oh, okay. Scum
Hello.
Dog?
Scum
Or Slum Dog?
Dog.
Hey,
How are you?
okay. What's up, dog?
What's up, man?
Scum Dog is my other jiu-jitsu buddy, so he's on here.
Oh yeah.
He's interested in me choking Chili out. So
Yep. I had
Um,
to yesterday. Went to the gym, rolled for 25 minutes, and then today after work, I went down there and rolled for probably maybe 15, 20 minutes.
awesome,
And
dude.
usually it's not like a 20-minute straight roll. It's
Sure.
20-minute, like a certain amount. I can't remember what the time was, but it's like after you're done, bell rings, you get like 10 seconds breather. Then you have a new body. It's like a round robin.
Right. Oh, so you're actually is a winner stay down? Is that how you guys do it?
No, it's just roll whoever taps, and you need to reset and roll again.
Oh no, we will do stuff like when we got guys coming up for a fight.
Mhm.
We'll run to a gauntlet. We'll all line up on the wall, and we'll actually the fighter will be down or up. It depends on if we're doing stand up work, like if we're going to do some kickboxing work, sparring, and
Mhm.
we'll go in and we'll do like a 3 or 5 minute round,
Mhm.
and then rest time comes up, and the next guy in line, so he's always fighting fresh guys.
No, that's cool.
brutal. Oh, it's hell.
Yeah,
Hell.
I bet.
Yeah.
So it's like we have a in our gym we have the mat space, and then we have the octagon. Well, during the time when we're rolling, it's like open. It's like situational rolling, competition, team practice, whatever you would call it. Usually the boxing classes have the mat, so we go into the cage and we roll in there, and it's like I think it's like 3 or 5 minutes. I don't know. I really don't pay attention to time. They just say, all right, go. And then they say, all right, switch. We'll switch. So if I was in half guard, someone was down, I'll go. And then after that round's done, and like, all right, switch. Somebody will be in my half guard, and so on and so forth. Then once you've done that, then you pick a new person. And by the time we're done, like the whole entire, like, 'cause it's vinyl, it's a vinyl mat. It's all soaked. It's like an ice skating rink.
Absolutely. That's awesome. That's how you know you're getting it done right. As a matter of fact, when we had a tournament coming up, we done a Fuji 2 weeks ago. They had a Fuji tournament in Lexington, Kentucky, I believe. And I didn't go, but they had the Fuji tournament, and when they were getting ready for the tournament, our coaches turned the fans off in the gym. Like it was just completely just pure hell in there. And dude, even rolling in gi, it was like a swimming pool on the mats afterwards. So now, do you train gi much, Scumdog?
I train both. So what I do is 1 week I'll train in the gi, and then the following week I'll train no gi, and I alternate. You know what I mean?
Because I can tell you 100%, if you're looking for a law enforcement thing, don't surrender the gi, because you know how many times I've grabbed a guy's jacket on the street and use it in the same way that we do grips and stuff.
Right, cross collar ties, stuff like that.
Absolutely. So yeah, don't overlook it, because it really is a very useful tool on the street as well. So and by the way, real fast, Crystal, I just seen your comment. I meant to say a little bit ago. I really appreciate you saying that you enjoy listening to me. I'm just a hillbilly. I was born and raised in West Virginia. I worked in Southern Ohio. Some country is corn and dumb as a day is long. But I really appreciate you guys. I really do. You guys mean a lot to me. That's honest.
Now, are you near the I'm probably going to say it wrong. I'm from Northern Maryland, so I have that little weird accent. But are you do you live near the Appalachian Trail?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I think that's what part of that's referred to, like Isn't that part Bits or Iron? Isn't that part of Route 60 they call Appalachian Trail?
You know, I think so.
Yeah.
Pretty certain because I mean, so what is it? Wayne National Forest.
Now I can tell
Somebody,
you this: have you heard of the Hatfield McCoy trails? All the big huge ATV trails all the way up through the East Coast. That's like 25 minutes from our area.
I was told do not mess with anyone who lives near those mountains or those trails. Don't mess with them. That's what I was told.
You know what's funny is there was a thing. Do you guys know who Mark Bell is from Super Training Gym? He's a power lifter out in California.
no.
He owns a company called Slingshot. He's a powerlifting guy. And he's a very successful guy. He's a good businessman, but he's really really strong. And he was talking about power meets, and he said, "I can't explain it." He said, "How in the hell are those boys from back east so damn strong?" And it's like, I guess
It's
just
true.
it's like, I guess it's just the way we eat. I don't know, bud. But he's like, I don't know.
Grass-fed beef.
Hey, Captain. Star 17 mentioned our new swear-in, our new officer in Ironton.
Yes. His name's Corey, and Corey is a really good kid. He's actually one of my. He's on my shift. He's one of my Cubs. And he is a very good kid. He's got a very good attitude. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, as his captain, day one when I met this kid, I said, "Come in here, son. I want to talk to you." He came in. He sat down in my office, and I said, "What do you do?" And he says, "What do you mean?" And I said, "What do you do?" Well, and he has a typical 23-year-old answer, right? And then I said, "No, I mean, what is your job?" And he says, "Well, to protect people and property." I said, "Cut that shit out." I was like, "Do you know what your job is?" I said, "Your job is to maintain and preserve public peace while upholding and defending the Constitution of the United States. Do you understand that?" And he says, "Yes, sir." And I said, "Your job is to guarantee freedoms. That's what you do. Your job is to guarantee freedoms. It's not about arresting people. It's about guaranteeing their freedoms. And if you have to arrest somebody in the process to guarantee somebody else's freedoms, that's what we'll do." And he says, "Yes, sir, Captain." So since then, that's where we've been. And I will push every single person that comes up as my subordinate to feel the same. He's a good kid. Very good kid. Let's see, Dennis. I just seen something. Sorry, Chad here. All right, Chad, you should do the Superman punch to get Chili's attention. And that doesn't work. Go for the armbar. You know what? I don't want to armbar him. I don't like
ankle lock. Ankle lock.
Yeah, I actually thought about heel hooking him to make it count, but
Yeah, tear his knee
This
up.
way, when he gets out of his van, we can see him limping.
yeah, exactly. He's
Can I get a minute to speak for a second? I'm sorry, I know it's your stream.
yeah,
I've been dying to get in touch with you. Finally get to speak. Respect what you do. I usually don't like cops. Who does? But I couldn't even tell if you were a cop if you came in a bar next to me.
Yeah, I can't either. I don't really like cops either, honestly. I never did as a kid. And I'm being silly, but
that's where I came from. Like when I was a kid, I'm 50. I grew up in the 80s, 90s, long haired, metalhead. I got picked on all the time in my town.
I can tell you this: when I got into this job, I got into it for a different reason. I got into it because I'll be honest with you. I'm country, like I said, I'm country as corn. I grew up fighting the whole 9 yards, whatever. And I don't mean fighting like a thug. I'm not like that. I support fighting boxing. And I got into this because, quite frankly, I'm not scared of shit. And I mean, it's probably stupid, like at times, because I'm like, I don't give a damn, that type of attitude. And I thought, I think I could do that job. Like, I don't think that would scare me, And then I started looking into it, and I was like, whatever. But ultimately, my entire objective in being in this profession was I wanted to be the real reason for cops. Like, I wanted to do it the way that I know it should be done. I wanted to prove that we really can go in there and use those laws to protect freedom, because that's what it's about. And I wanted to prove that it could be that way. And I've earned my way up as a captain. I'm 43 years old. I'm an evening shift commander. I've got a uniform rank of captain. I have subordinates underneath me, and I've been at IPD for 15 years. And I would say I'm probably one of the fastest ones to make the rank of captain as far as years in anyway. So, and I think that it proves that there is room for being at the real deal. Let's do it. We don't, everybody can stay positive and stay focused and build a love on each other. And I tell my guys all the time, if you see somebody that's on the side of the street and they're doing something or they're carrying wood in their house or doing a project and you can have the time to stop and help them carry it, do it. See somebody carrying groceries, offer to help them. I mean, damn, that's what we're paid for.
Well, you know what? That's how it used to be.
Yeah, and it should have never changed. It really shouldn't have. But I will tell you this, and I mean this, Smitty. I really believe this. I really believe media is what really changed it. And I swear to that. I really believe media
110%.
Media pushing a negative agenda pushed the police from Andy Griffith into modern day SWAT.
Yep.
You know what though, Captain? I think you and I and others here, I think combined we have the opportunity to change it back.
I know we can for our area at least.
And it's like they put them that you got a bullseye on your head.
Sure.
People are sick. So
the department that I applied for, I'm not going to say. Say what department. I'm not trying to dox myself, but department that I applied for, it's very, 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 very tough. It's a very tough area. To a point to where they are down 300 officers, and they just cannot fill these cars. They can't fill these precincts. People are retiring early. And to a point, I kind of no, I don't blame them.
If you don't have your back by the mayor or something like that, I mean, come on,
don't have the mayor doesn't have your back. The DA is corrupt.
Governor,
yeah. In the county that my mother works for, I was talking to an officer today. He's a traffic cop, and he was telling me that they're taking the traffic officers and putting them back on the road because they're so short-staffed.
I believe that.
Absolutely. Well, I can tell you this: I'm a captain, and I handle calls. I will handle calls, and I can promise you, when I started in this profession, you didn't even look at a captain without having addressed first. When I would come into work, when the captain would speak, you just shut up and yes sir, no sir, whatever. And what we done back in the day when I started is I would come in, I would get my radio. This is how my shift started. I would get my radio, and we used to carry those great big old not the PR-24 side handles, but
Star
the actual,
17. Yes, keep going.
The straight sticks, and we get our stick, we would get our radio, and get our hat, like those bus driver hats is what we call them. And you go out on the road, and you don't come back. You don't go around the captain. You don't bother the captain. You don't say anything to the captain unless you were asked to. And now my guys, like, it's so laid back, like they come in and they call me Unky Chad. Like my subordinates call me Unky Chad. And I told him, I was like, you guys are so lucky. I was like, man, when I started, if I would have said that, they'd have said, take your Unky ass on home for the rest of the day. Hero. Because you don't ever talk to a captain like that, but things have changed for sure.
My mom, she was telling me that when she first started, she worked as a juvenile probation officer for the state for 30 years, retired, and retired for like a month and said she was too bored, so she got hired with the local police department. And that chief at the time, he would go out on calls. Mm-hmm. And that chief, the department is huge. He'd go out on calls.
Sure. Absolutely.
And he's now since retired, but I haven't seen any chief, especially around here, do that. They're usually up at headquarters doing their thing, but I thought that was cool that the chief was going out on calls.
And in their defense, there is a lot of things that have to do with the bargaining units that won't allow the chief, because him being an administrative officer.
Mm-hmm.
But that's maybe a whole different story. But I want to challenge something. We still have several in the chat here. I want to say this, and I want everybody to give me an answer to this. So here's what I want. I want everybody in the chat right now to mention one of their favorite movies, a police movie. Right now, I'm curious how many of them is going to turn up the same. Only police-related movies, because I'm going somewhere with this. So put your comment in the chat below, and let's open up a discussion. Let's talk about Hollywood. Since we can talk about Chili, because Chili's all about Hollywood anyway. But
damn, what's that?
So let's type that in off of us.
What was the it's the one I can't remember. It's on tip of my tongue. It's the one where Sylvester Stallone and Ray Liotta played in it. Oh man, Copland. I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Yeah, that was when he was that sheriff from New Jersey.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
I forgot about that movie. That was a really good one too. Bad Boys. Yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
I've already seen Police Academy. I swear to God, I'm going to refer to you. I'm not calling you Monty. You're Mrs. Bits, okay? But let me tell you this. I swear to you, Police Academy was one of my favorite movies before I went in the police academy. That's no kidding. Nobody has mentioned Super Troopers. What is up with you people?
Oh, I forgot about that. How in the world?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the kicker. Okay, somebody asked me one time, "Oh my gosh, what's it like? Is it like this and this and this?" I said, "Do you really want it?" I was like, "It's more like Super Troopers." I was like, "There's more reality. We're all a bunch of goofballs."
What are you going to spit in now?
Yeah, exactly. I want a liter of cola.
I want to be there to see y'all down the syrup. Isn't that the one they have the syrup where they down the pancake syrup?
Yep. So you're in a place. You like going shenanigans.
Oh yeah. He's like, I swear to God, I'll pistol whip the next man who says shenanigans. Absolutely.
It's a great movie.
The reason that I say that, I brought that up for a reason. After the Ferguson, Missouri stuff that happened out there with the guy that was shot, and then it turned into a racial issue, and we had, for whatever reason, we had Washington getting involved in what was, in my opinion, a state issue, but nevertheless, Eric Holder was the Attorney General at the time, and I think he kind of stuck his nose at something he shouldn't have, but that's just my opinion. But that being said, Hollywood actually made a pledge publicly that they were going to change the image of police in movies, and that they would stop intentionally creating heroes out of police officers in movies. And if you think about major Hollywood movies since then, every single movie that everybody's named since then has all been before that day.
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys seen the oh god dang it, I forget what it was called. We Own the City?
I have not.
No.
Watch it. It's on
Pretty
HBO.
solid.
It's I'm just not going to say, you just got to watch it.
Is Police Squad, was that the Dennis, was that Naked Gun? Is that what that was? The Police Squad? I'm thinking that's what that was.
Naked Gun.
That was freaking hilarious too.
I love the opening to those movies. Like,
yeah, like the last one where he was riding with the he went over the roller coaster and threw people. That's crazy. Yes, somebody said Training Day. Awesome. Player to player, pimp to pimp. Awesome movie.
Is that Denzel Washington?
Yes, and if you haven't seen it, make yourself a note to watch it. It's awesome.
I might have to check that out.
Yes.
So, Kat, what am I like getting into day one in the academy? If I even get picked, I don't know.
They're gonna mess with your head a little bit. Just remember, it's all part of a game. They're gonna scream at you, and they're gonna make you feel stupid. They may tell you to go and put on your dress uniform, and then they give you like 10 seconds. Hey Jamie, how are you? That they give you like 10 seconds, and then it's like, get your asses back out. Now, once again, I mean, I'm an old schooler, so it's 15 years ago. But they'll tell you, They'll tell you how stupid you are, basically.
I work construction, so I don't think there's anything that anyone can say at this point in time in my life that could hurt my feelings.
But I'm from West Virginia, okay? Literally everywhere I go, I'm like, where are you from? I'm from West Virginia.
But I'm going into this late in life. I'm 38.
That's
so
okay.
This is something that I've wanted to do. I thought it was a pipeline dream, and then finally I just said, you know what? I had some health issues. Wasn't COVID related, but it was during COVID, and I said, you know what? You only get one life. I might as well just go ahead and do it. And
right.
Applied, and I got through the process pretty easy. Like I said, they only gave me, when I got to the medical part, they only gave me like a hard time because I have ulcerative colitis, and they didn't really give me a hard time. They just said, hey, look, can you just get a note from your specialist? And my specialist was like, you're good to go, dude. Good luck. Awesome. So if I haven't heard, the last time I heard something from the department was like May 30th. I haven't heard anything since, and no news is good news, but I'm just like, August 1st is coming up pretty quick. So I don't know.
Have you already done your polygraph and all that stuff, psych evals and stuff?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're in there, dude. They don't spend money on that stuff. They don't want you.
See that, and that's what I'm saying. I feel like if they were to DQ me because, or not pick me because of my health issue, was really not a health issue, but if they were to like DQ me because of that, I feel like they would have done it already.
They would have. They would. They're not going to spend that. They're not going to spend that money on you, bud. I promise you. I mean, it's not cheap. Those psych evals are really expensive, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Well, gentlemen, I'm going to hop off here, guys.
Hey, Bits, man, I appreciate you. If you have any questions or whatever, or if you need any help from me for Saturday, let me know.
Okay.
And I appreciate you, and we will keep you going. And guys, make sure you check out Bits and Pieces. If you're not subbed to Bits and Pieces, I'm gonna come through the chat and I'm gonna slap you. I'm gonna Cobra Kai you, and I'm telling you, you won't want me coming at you like a spider monkey. I'm telling you right now, I'll be on you like a rat on a Cheeto.
And the link to the chat, so they have no excuse.
You need to go over and you need to sub to Ironton Auditor. If you want to see the way it's really done, here's the way you do it. You want to see how it's really done, you go over and you subscribe to Ironton Auditor and you see how it's really done with real transparency.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want good content, that's not only is it hilarious, but it's certainly probably the most informative. You need to check out Bits and Pieces. I promise you, and I'm not just saying that. I'm sub to both of them, and I look forward to their content. Do yourself a favor, I promise.
I appreciate it, guys. Definitely.
Good night, Bits and Pieces. It was good seeing you.
You too. I'll see you guys soon.
Man.
I'll see you, Bits.
We went from the Trinity to the Four Horsemen now, didn't we?
Now we're the Four Horsemen, but I got to tell you, I got to be Ric Flair. Woo! I can walk the aisle, boys.
You know, a funny story. When I was a kid, I actually got to see the original Four Horsemen in Huntington one time, and
no kidding.
I have to be honest, I was so disappointed because I thought they were so huge, and when I met them, they were like the size of my dad. You know, I was so underimpressed.
Yeah.
And then Barry Windham came out and made them all look like tinies. I mean, this man was huge, thick in the chest, broad across the shoulders, big, tall. You know, but that was before most of the bodybuilders got into the whole WWF thing. You know.
Yep.
Ed 2276. Thanks for the input, man. I appreciate it.
Awesome. Oh, and by the way, Ed, you're a veteran. Thank you for your service, sir.
Absolutely.
Yes, thank
appreciate
you.
It.
Absolutely.
Educator, another funny story. The first time I met Eugene's mother, I walked in the house and she started giggling, and I said, "What?" And she said, "You look so much bigger on camera."
Oh, like, you could have just kept that to yourself.
I just thought it was funny because people always, I guess I sound and seem a lot bigger than I am, but when you meet me, you see that, there's not much to me.
Well, I think that's probably not true. maybe physically you're not as large a person as you are on camera, but certainly in your intellect and the way you carry yourself, you're much larger. So, and I mean that wholeheartedly. So I don't have any doubt about that.
Thank you for that. I appreciate that.
There's
Absolutely.
something I wanted to say about Chili. You know how like he goes around, you know, saying that, you know, he's a tough guy, and I train with Voss Bruton or train with Ken Shamrock. He goes around, has that tough guy attitude. I have to say, like in the gym that I train at, we have one pro boxer, one amateur Muay Thai fighter, one professional Muay Thai fighter, and one professional MMA fighter who is in the UFC now. And those guys are the most humble dudes you will ever meet.
Absolutely.
And, you know, they don't go around, well, I'm a UFC fighter, I can kick your ass, blah, 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 blah. You know, you don't see that. And like, even the guys like you and I, Chad, you know, we train, we don't go around thinking that we can kick people's ass. We want to avoid violence. We want to avoid fights.
Absolutely.
The way that he talks, it's just very, like I said, it's no secret that he, at one point in time in his life, wrestled. There's that's no secret. There's pictures of him, you know, in a yearbook.
Well, and you can tell by his ear. I mean, he's got call fire. I mean, I've seen it.
The you know, but I have never, not once, ever met someone who trains and walks around talking like we don't act like that. We don't.
I just do to him just to torment him.
Well, yeah. I mean, you're you know,
but I can tell you this: the guy that I spar with, that I do my stand-up sparring with, is a professional MMA fighter and a professional boxer. He's got I think 8 MMA fights, and I think he's 6-2 pro MMA, and he's got I think he's got like 10 or 15 pro boxing fights, and he's only lost like 1 fight. He's a super heavyweight, big, strong, heavy hitter. Man, his hands are like lead, and you know, I can get in there, I can work gloves with him and spar, and he'll say, and I can just tell, you know, like, or after we get done working and stuff, and he's like, man, he's like, you got a hell of a right hand and all this stuff, you know, whatever. And then, you know, it's like never once does he ever come off that. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind, like he would mangle me if he really wanted to. I mean, he's a real, I mean, I'm a decent fighter. This guy's a real fighter. He's a real fighter. And he would knock me out. He's strong as a horse, and he's as big as one. He's bigger than I am. He's strong, super strong. And never once has he ever had an ego, or he'll even stop. He's actually stopped me mid-round. He'll be like, hey, hang on a second. I want to show you something. And he'll show me where I'm like lagging, like you're flaring your elbow off your right hand. You're this and this and this. And I'm seeing it. He's like, I can hammer your body if you don't straighten that up. You know what I mean? Little things like that. That's what fighters do. Fighters don't walk around with a chip on their shoulder. No. Because I can tell you something else that jiu-jitsu taught me. 100%, I can promise you, if you ever train in jiu-jitsu, you will learn to be real fearful of everybody. Because the first year and a half that I trained jiu-jitsu, I realized that, holy shit.
Exactly.
Like, I'm getting a shit kicked out of me.
Yeah, funny you say that. The professional fighter who fights for the UFC, he was we were all standing around when he was talking. He was saying, hey, look, you know, I went down to, you know, this like I said, I'm trying to like not dox myself.
Sure.
Went to this place that had a lot of people. There was an event going on, and he said I literally like just had to leave because I felt like everyone was sizing me up. Like I was like honestly worried. So I just said, okay, everybody, you know, have a nice night. And he said I went home.
Right. Absolutely.
I was just piggybacking on what you were saying, being fearful of other people. Since like I do it, like I'm constantly like,
absolutely.
Yeah.
If you're not cautious about people, then you're either arrogant or stupid. But I can tell you, and I like I said, I have no doubt, and I've said this all along. I have no doubt in my mind that Chili's got some training, that he's done some stuff. I mean, and I've openly said he's strong. I can tell by the way he's built. I can tell by the way he looks. You know, he's put together. The guy's built. He's strong. There's no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
However, and he's got cauliflower ear. But do you know how many people that I've choked with cauliflower ear? Like, I mean, seriously, like,
Mm-hmm.
yes, wrestlers suck to roll with because they're so super aggressive. They scramble so hard and so fast.
Mm-hmm.
But eventually, they're going to slow down. And when they slow down, I'm going to get an arm. I'm going to get your neck. I'm going to get something. And, you know, and I'm teasing about the heel hook. Like, I mean, I really wouldn't want to heel hook this guy. I mean, I would. I mean, I'll heel hook him if I have to. But I would want to heel hook this guy. I don't want to really do that to him. You know, I don't want to really screw up his knee because that's something that's not really easy to get over.
Gary,
but, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I cut you off. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. That sounds really awesome.
Gary is a professional grappler. His name is Gary Tony. He had an MMA fight and he tried to heel hook the guy, and the guy just kind of sat back and threw 2 punches on the ground. He was
I saw that.
Out.
I saw that way. He literally knocked him out while he was heel hooking him.
Mm-hmm. It was like pop, pop. He was out.
Yeah, I saw that. That was so crazy. But man, you got to have some balls though to hang on. I mean, knowing that he's literally destroying your knee right now, and you're still just hanging on.
Yeah, the thing about wrestlers is that we're you know, like I said, I wrestled in high school and I wrestled freestyle 2 years out of high school. Like we're taught to not to go on our back, and now you have this art that's like, hey, it's okay to go on your
back. Yeah, it doesn't bother me a bit. I mean, obviously, I want to stay off my shoulders unless I'm playing full guard. But I mean, I don't like the bottom because I'm a big, strong guy, and I just kind of like, I'd rather not be on the bottom. But I mean, I can handle it. He can't. He's not gonna like the outcome of the ground. I can promise you that. So, Ed, I see that, and I'll tell you, in Kentucky rules, let me tell you what I found out. We cannot throw elbows on the ground. Kentucky amateur rules says we cannot elbow on the ground.
What are the have you read the rule set of it?
I have not read them. I have been quoted them thus far. I've physically not read them yet, but I do know that there's no elbows on the ground. Obviously, there's no downward elbows anyway, but there's no elbows on the ground, and there's no knees on the ground. And other than that, I think it's pretty normal. Everything else.
How about a good old-fashioned bar stomp? Are you allowed 1 or 2 of those in there?
You can't kick him when he's on the ground.
Can you knee to the body?
You can knee to the body. I don't think. I just in clinch, I believe. Yep. No, I think. Once again, I have not read them. Okay. And I don't really know, but that's for now. That's what I'm hearing. So
have you had any random person come up and tell you like, "Hey, Captain, I'm coming to that fight."
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's awesome, man. I got goosebumps right now just fighting.
If he actually shows up to that fight, I promise you there'll be a lot of us buying a ticket to get in there. Yeah. I'll guarantee it.
I've had people contact me from literally all over the world. Literally the world. I've had people message me from Sweden, Austria.
Wow.
I'm trying to think some other places.
It's amazing how far they reach out from, isn't it, Captain?
Yeah, and it's funny because they all either call me Captain or they call me Chad, and nobody refers to me as Legicator. So it's like they've actually taken the time to get to know who I am. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's why I hear they'll be like, "Knock him out, Captain," or "We're in your corner, Captain," or whatever. And it's like, yeah, because I never would have dreamed that this would actually take in this type. Hey, Tina, how are you? But I never would have dreamed that it would have taken off like this. I mean, it's
yeah. I mean, like I said, I was in a rabbit hole, the whole Jeremy DeWitt rabbit hole, when I got out of that, and then he's
a moron.
I for some reason I was at lunch and I was just surfing through my phone, and I saw Chili at a courthouse in Arizona, and he's telling this officer, he goes, "If I ever get you on the mat, I'm smashing your face all on the mat." I'm like, who the hell is this guy? And that was it. So back down a rabbit hole I'm at.
He's an idiot. He's so full of shit. You know, and he was talking about, he's like, "What would you think about somebody holding you down, you not be able to do anything about it?" And that's what really got me wanting to right then, was because he made a statement about somebody's like, "I could hold you down. There's not anything you can do about it." So I made this statement and be like, "I'll take that bet." Because I know he can't hold me down.
Did you did you like start? But did you know about him before he came to Ironton?
No,
Okay.
never. No, he's not.
So that was the first. That was the first time you.
Yep.
I guess I'm just curious, like how did. Never mind. I'm going to answer my own question.
He showed up and he's an idiot. So I decided.
Yeah.
I decided to take him up on his idiocy, and I really honestly want to see. Hey, if you're such a badass, you got the perfect opportunity to prove it, because you wanted to count on the fact that these guys that you're calling out are not fighters, or they're just family men that are going to the job. But what you don't know is when everybody else was learning to throw a baseball when they were playing Pee Wee League baseball, I was in a boxing gym learning to throw a right hand.
Mm-hmm.
So absolutely, let's go. And if your wrestling is so good, you won't have any problem defending my jiu-jitsu.
Mm-hmm.
But God, I got bad news for you, little man.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to play position with me, you're going to really not like the outcome, because I'm going to sweep you. I'm going to take the top, and you're going to get hammer fists until you go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Captain, did you see Tina's comment?
I did not. Which one's
Back
that?
up through there and find Tina Slay's comment.
What is it now? Try it again, Terry.
Look back up through the chat there and find Tina Slay's comment.
How far is Akron from Ironton?
It's about have you noticed is how it starts.
Oh, okay. Let me look.
Three line thing there.
I'm sorry. I've tried to.
Oh yeah, that is true.
Oh yeah. That's what I said. I said all along. I honestly said all along that we win either way, because either he's going to show up and I'm going to whip his ass, or he's not going to show up and we whipped his ass. That's it. He's done with that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Because he knows if he shows up. Let me tell you something, guys. Chili's not stupid. He just plays stupid on TV. Okay, he's not stupid. He knows when he goes to bed at night. He knows when he lays his little scammy head down that he knows he cannot beat me. He knows he can't. He's seen me. He's been beside of me. He knows that I'm really in the gym. That I really do have fight experience. That I really have done this stuff. That I really am bigger and stronger than he is, and that my technique is probably not bad. And he knows that his little horse shit is going to be over in September if he shows up. So if he shows up, he knows he's got an ass whooping coming. And if he doesn't show up, he knows that he can't say that shit to anybody anymore, because I've stopped it. So you know what? We'll see. If he shows up, he's going to have it to do. And if he doesn't show up, he's going to have a big hole to dig out to explain to everybody why he didn't.
It just means he's a bully. I think that'll be self-explanatory, and it just didn't work. He called his bluff.
Maybe so. We'll see.
Captain, I have a feeling that fight, that card, I mean, I think it's going to sell out.
Oh yeah. It will. I mean, literally, the way that I understand, now, I may be speaking wrong here, but the way that I understand is the reason that there's a pay-per-view company that's wanting to come in and televise the fights now is because of the Me Chili thing.
That's so cool.
So
it's now an awesome story out of a small town like Ironton, you see.
Yeah, absolutely. And here's the thing too, is that also it's a testament to the goodness of God, because this time last year I was, I was basically with one arm and I was getting ready to get COVID and about die. So when I had COVID, I thought my life was over, and I come to where my wife had to help me to the bathroom from the living room. I had to actually, because I had to take breaks to make it to the bathroom because I couldn't breathe. I gained 50 pounds of bad weight and lost all of my muscle mass because I lost the use of my right arm for almost a year. And then when I got COVID, I obviously couldn't get back in the gym. So everything went to hell for me. And it really is a testament to how good God is in my life, because he's allowed me to make this comeback. And I'm going to bring everything I got. I'm 43. The last time I was in a competitive fight, I was 17 years old. That was the last time I was in a boxing match. I'm 43. This is it for me, guys. I won't be able to do it again. My body won't. I can tell you this. Anybody who has fought will tell you when you actually do get in a fight or a contest, it takes a while to recover. Like your body is exhausted. Like it will be seriously like a long time of days and nights of soreness and hurt and the whole 9 yards after this is over. And this is just being real. I'm not down in Chile. I'm not saying this is real. I mean, I'm going to be sore. I'm going to be beat up. And I won't be able to do this again. This is going to be a one-time thing. This is going to be the end of my my chances of doing all this stuff. So if you think for 1 minute that I'm not going to go at this with everything I've got to make sure that I go out the way that I want to, you got another thing coming. I'm bringing it.
I have another suggestion for a walkout. I guess it's not a song. It's not a song, but I'm pretty sure you've heard it. It's called "Policeman" by Paul Harvey.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Goosebumps.
Yep.
Goosebumps. I just got goosebumps because it just dawned on me. I'm like, holy crap, man! That'd be something powerful. You know what I mean?
When I very first started years ago, when I started at IPD, I've always been kind of a bigger guy. I've always been, stronger or whatever. And when I very first started, I was training, I was lifting, and we had some roughnecks. And Terry will tell you, there's some rough guys in Ironton. I mean, back in the day, especially, there were some sluggers.
Absolutely.
And, excuse me. And I went. There was a few times where we was running so thin because we were so busy, and they would send me on a call that we'd normally send 2 cars, and they sent me. And there was this one where the dispatcher actually called me and said, "Hey, just giving you a heads up, you're all I got. I don't have anybody else to send, but I'm sending you to this. And this guy's a fighter. He's already said if you send the police, I'm gonna whoop their ass type thing. So you're all I got." And I was still a young policeman, and I said, "Okay," because like I said earlier in the stream, I'm not that guy. Like, I mean, if you may beat the piss out of me, but you're gonna have it to do. You're not just gonna tell me you're gonna beat the piss out of me and get me. It's not gonna happen. I've heard it too much. So, so I actually went up there, and sure enough, man, we was in a doozy. I mean, we was literally boxing in the backyard of this house because this guy was nuts. And I remember I went back to the department, and they all started kind of teasing me, as the shift change come up, man, you got some hands and all this stuff, Well, the course of the next few weeks, I kind of started noticing that they were sending me to a lot of these calls, and I'm going, I don't like this. So one night I came in, and that's back when we used to wear Class A uniforms, and I had my white T-shirt on underneath. Well, at the end of the night, I took my uniform shirt off, and I was typing all my reports and stuff, and I had blood on my uniform or on my white shirt because my nose got busted, my mouth got busted a little bit, and one of the dispatchers, one of my old dispatchers, and she was a little bit older than all of us, and she used to call herself Mama to us, because we were like her boys. And she came in there and she patted me on the back and she said, "Are you okay?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm okay." And she says, "Okay." She said, I'm not going to say her name, but she said, you're Mama's Iron Man, ain't you?" And I was like, "I guess so." And that stuck. And I got the actual nickname Iron Man after that. And to this day, inside my cruiser says Iron Man over top of my vents, and in my locker in the locker room says Iron Man. And I actually have nameplates that go on my vest that say Iron Man for SWAT raids and stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
So, hey, Captain, did you see Chris Marlowe's comment there? So what would be funny is if Judge Waldo shows up to the fight, you reckon we can give him a ticket? You think he'll go?
God, that'd be funny.
Oh, man.
Yeah, well, obviously the warrant's not any good, so it wouldn't matter anyway as far as that.
No, but it'd just be funny for him to show up and be, just to give you.
Oh my gosh, that would be hilarious. That'd be hilarious. I don't know how much officially that the city or the department is going to officially support me because, I've kind of stepped out on my own. And I'll be honest with you guys, when I very first mentioned this, when he very first came to town, he was flapping his jaws and he already jumped on a couple of our younger guys. And I asked the chief, I said, "Chief, can I ask you a question?" And she says, "What's that?" And I said, "This guy's got a big mouth." And I said, "I think he's a bum. I think he's full of shit." And he said, yeah, whatever. And I said, "He always wants to fight a policeman in the cage in an MMA fight." And she said, "Yeah." And I said, "I got one more in me." I was like, "What would you think about me accepting it?" And she goes, "Absolutely not." And I said, "What if I were to do it for charity?" And she goes, "What do you mean?" And I said, "Well, I mean, if it was a good cause, if we'd done it for charity." And she perked up and she goes, "I'm all about charity." And I said, "Okay, I'll do it for charity." So this was before he'd even approached me. I was kind of laying in wait because I was kind of waiting for him to come up and approach me because I knew I was going to say, "Yep, let's do it." And I'd already kind of got permission, but the city kind of was like, not really wanting direct affiliation with it.
Mhm.
And the biggest thing that I was wanting to get the permission was from my real chief here at home, because I explained to her, this is a little different. I mean, I've come home banged up before from being in fights on the road and stuff, but this is going to be a little different. Like I'm going to probably, very good chance, I'll get my eye swollen shut, or there's a good chance, I get my mouth busted and all this stuff. And I said, I mean, I'm going to be pretty roughed up. And I was like, you better be prepared for this. And at first she was kind of like, oh, type thing. And then she actually started watching some of his videos and like the way some of his people started doing her, like the nasty stuff that they would say about her and stuff.
Oh my God.
And then she looked at me and she said, "You want to fight that guy?" And I said, "Yeah." And she goes, "Okay, let's do it." She's like, "Kick his ass." I was like, "Yes, ma'am."
There you go, Chief.
Yeah, that's what I'll do. So
I'll tell you what, though, they have had a lot of bad phone calls to deal with. I will give the chief her props for having to deal with that. And poor Cindy out there, just the lady that has to field those calls first, man. It's awful.
It's really sad. I mean, consider if you guys knew Miss Cindy that works for the police department, you would realize she is so sweet. She is
one of the nicest ladies I have met doing this, for sure.
Truly, truly, truly just a sweet, lovable soul. And she's not a policeman. She's a clerk that works in the office. She just has a job. I mean,
she's smaller than I am, isn't she, Captain?
Oh, she's a tiny little thing, and she's just as soft as can be. And it's funny because like I give her grief all the time because she is so soft and I'll go in there and I'll walk in the office. I'll be like, "Hey, Cindy, don't start with your mouth. Don't start with your mouth as I walk in because I'm gonna tell you right now, you're about to catch hands." And she has a good time out of it. Or she'll come up here to me and she'll like put her fist up and like put it in my face and she'll say, "Don't you push me, Chad, because I'll knock you out." And I was like, and she even said, she's like, "Oh, you know what?" She's like, "I bet I'm the only person that can talk to you like that." I was like, "Yeah, might be. I don't know." But the funny thing is, like, these people really need a life. Like the way that they act.
Like what's made my stomach turn more is when I'm even like talking about it because it just gets me so mad. Is when.
Hey Tina, do you want to come up? Terry, do you want to send Tina? If you want to come up, I've got room on the panel.
When freaking media came into town, that
oh yeah,
I can't.
Who is that guy anyway? He's a real idiot, isn't
he? He is the most disrespectful, vulgar person. And he says he has daughters, and you're going to talk to women like that? Like,
did you guys watch the video where my men actually told him, "Dude, there's ladies here," and he said, "I don't give a fuck." Yeah, that was my guys that actually told him that. And he's like, "I don't give a fuck." And one of my officers said, "You know what, man? You should." I mean, really?
Yeah.
I mean,
my buddy I worked with, I was showing some of these First Amendment audit videos, and he's just like, "Man, if that was here, they've been knocked out." I'm like, "That's the thing. They want you to do that. Yeah. That's what they want you to do."
Yeah. If somebody in the chat can check, see, is that guy still got his channel up? Because I was told he took down his channel.
He still got it.
Yeah, he's a dipshit, right? I mean, he's like, is he always like that, like an asshole with everybody?
Somebody told him, and this was in a past live stream, the way he talks to women, and he's just like, apparently he like, the way he is, he kind of admitted that he does it for clicks. Mm-hmm. And, he said he doesn't really mean it. He has a wife and he has daughters.
Hey, Tina.
I'm like, I don't believe
How you
that.
doing, Chad?
Good.
How's everybody doing today? I was having fun in the chat. You missed it last night after you left the chat. Chili showed up.
What where was that?
Oh boy,
Sovereign.
Oh yeah, Sovereign was talking about that earlier.
Oh my gosh, it was so funny.
Yeah, was he typical Chili where he sends like 47 comments in a row real fast? It's like like he always had. It's like almost like he can't really remember everything he wants to say, so he sends them because he's like angry typing. So he sends something and he thinks something else he wants to send, and it's like, dude, calm down a minute and breathe. It's like you can argue real mean, put it all caps. It's like, gosh, he's something else.
He definitely was he's definitely coming after Tina in the chat.
Oh, he was. And I kept telling him to come up on the panel.
Well, he always does that in the chat.
But my point is that he used to tell everybody, let's fight, let's sign the waiver, let's get in a cage fight. Since you've accepted his challenge, he's not peeped that to a solitary other person.
Right. Well, I think he knows that everybody's going to say, hey, well, actually, Goose wanted to fight you back in Ohio.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He knows that. I mean, he's full of shit. His whole nonsense with his superhuman fighting style is getting ready to get knocked the hell out in September, and he knows that, and he knows that he's got to come off that. He's got to find another avenue to be able to paint a picture of himself. I'm sorry, but you can't be as I got to watch the way I say this. In my opinion, he appears to be very feminine. Okay, and I'm just saying that from just the way he kind of carries himself, the way he talks. He's very, very he shows a lot of vanity. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And that's just not what. And I'm sure Scumdog will probably agree with me as being around fighters. That's not how fighters act.
Nope.
Yeah, I mean that's just not how fighters really act. Fighters are more just kind of quiet, solid, and usually we're not real pretty. I mean,
the difference is real fighters, the reason they're quiet is because they have to study their opponent.
Sure.
And so you have to quiet yourself to be able to study body language, movement, and anticipate that next punch.
Right.
Which is why most fighters, boxing, MMA fighters, are not mouthy unless they're just trying to promote something in a room full of people.
That's what I'm doing. Yeah.
Not to mention their competence level is so high they sure aren't afraid.
Nah.
Yeah.
He doesn't scare me, not at all. But I will say, like, I've noticed, he talks about. He actually told he told the promoter. He says, so how many minute rounds are these? He's like, there's 3-minute rounds in Kentucky in MMA, and an amateur fight is 3-minute rounds. And he goes, oh yeah, that's easy. I can do that right now without training. He said, that's not a problem whatsoever. And I'm thinking to myself, dude, I can already tell you're not a fighter, because anybody who's really had fights knows that even if you are a fighter, if you take a few weeks off, 3 minutes is a hell of a long way to go.
Yeah. Is there any way that for how like professional fights, the main events are 5-5s? Is there any way that the commission, the Kentucky Athletic Commission, can change the amateur to 3-5s?
No. It's just a threat that they would. I'll be honest with you guys. When they very first heard about this fight, they didn't want to sanction it because of our ages. Because I'm 43 and Chile's 47. And Kentucky didn't really like the idea of it until they realized that it was a policeman versus a mouthy YouTube auditor. And they's like, you know what? I want to see this fight. The actual Kentucky State Commissioner said, I want to see this fight, make it happen. I'll sign off on it.
Oh, boy.
I'm going to do everything in my power to be there. I will not miss this.
And I already told you, and you and I have talked before about what I plan on doing. So, and I will,
absolutely,
and I will do that by all means. So, and I can promise you, if this happens, I'm gonna make him feel it. I promise, without a doubt. So,
are your boys going?
My boys?
Yes.
Probably not. I don't know if
I was gonna say.
I don't know if I actually tried to get my wife tonight. I told her, I said, "Are you sure about this?" She goes, "Oh hell yeah." She's like, I want to be there and watch you whip his ass. And I said, "You do realize you're going to see me getting punched and maybe hurt?" And she's like, "It's fine. You'll be fine. You're tough. You can take it. It's fine." I'm like, "That's so easy for you to say." Yes. But,
yeah.
Hey,
yes.
Captain. Hey, sorry. Captain. Chris Marlowe wants to know how someone would go about getting tickets.
If you look up ECC Cage Fighting, the letter E, the letter C, the letter C, ECC Cage Fighting, you can find it on Facebook. I know. I don't know if that's the only web address they have is through Facebook. But if you look it up, I think you can actually find tickets that way. And we have somebody from New Zealand right now in the chat. That is too cool.
I just have to shout out to Billy Lawrence, Mr. Rick Roll himself. Good to see you in the chat.
Awesome. How are you? And for NZ, I just was mentioning, I don't know if you just got here, but I was just mentioning that they're actually going to do now I've been told, so I don't want to sound like I know everything because I don't, but I've been told that there's going to be a pay-per-view company that's actually going to be involved in this, that you should actually be able to rent this fight. So that's what I've been told. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm super excited. You know, I know I still have a long way to go. My cardio, my skill has come back a lot, like from what I expected. I'll be honest, I was really, really worried at first because, you know, I was doing some really stupid new guy stuff. You know, I was getting really squirrely with my feet. I I have to say, like at very first, I was lunging in my punches. I mean, I was like, oh my god, I can't believe I've forgotten all this stuff. And what was funny was the very first time I sparred full spar, the guy I sparred with was a left-handed fighter, and I immediately, I'm gonna try to add Smitty, but he keeps dropping every time I try to add him. Smitty, I got you back. I keep trying to add you, and you fall off, buddy.
Yeah, my hamster fell off the wheel. Shift change.
Well, you got to get him to go backwards
for the
a while,
internet.
back up.
That's what happens when you live in a country. Hey, Tina.
But
how you doing?
I'm doing great.
But so
I'm
I
glad to hear that.
That I was kind of tripping over my feet, and I started getting my feet back a little bit. But when the very first time I sparred with a guy who was left-handed, and I walked into his freaking left hand a dozen times, and I was like, "What the hell have I done?" And after the first round, I was looking at him, I was like, "Dude," I was like, "What am I doing wrong?" He's like, "Have you not even paid attention? I mean, this is in between rounds." And I was like, "What?" He goes, "You're fighting like a right-handed fighter, numbnuts." And I was like, "What?" And it didn't even click to me. I was like, "Oh my god, I've forgotten that much." Like I was literally moving to his power every time I was stepping into his left, and I was like, "Wow." And you know what actually got me at that point? Let me tell you how great Tatar's MMA has been. Those guys have actually studied Chili's videos and actually watched to see which hand he writes with and everything, so we can get a game plan. Like they want to anticipate the way he's going to fight. Right.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, I mean they're actually like watching everything about him to determine, you know, if it looks like, you know, how he's going to carry. I'm guessing if he's a wrestler, he's probably going to fight right foot forward. A lot of high school wrestlers, you know, were usually strong foot forward. But if he's got any other training, he might go left foot. I hope he goes left foot forward, just because I'm going to really like the overhand right on a traditional fighter. But nevertheless,
yeah. Apparently, there are two people in northern Ohio that are supporting Chili. One of being Christy Ronan is coming down to see Chili fight, and apparently, from what I gathered, Tim and Sarah Page might be there too.
Yeah, they live in Ironton.
I thought they lived in Kentucky.
No, they actually don't live in Ironton. They live across the bridge, the river there in Kentucky.
Don't they live in Greenup?
Yeah, they live across the river there in Kentucky. They don't live in Ohio. They don't live in Ironton.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just wish I could be.
Either way, it's right here. I mean, it's right here in the same little community. So.
Oh yeah, we're all nestled into the tri-state here, Ohio, Kentucky, and West Virginia. It should be called Ohio, Kentucky, Virginia.
Crystal, to answer your question, the drug screening that they will do is basically they're only going to look. It's not even a drug screening per se. It's a blood test. They're looking for transmittable diseases and stuff like that in the blood. There's not going to be any tests on performance-enhancing drugs, anything like that I know of. And I'll be honest with you, I know he's going to be, if he is going to fight, he's going to definitely be jacked up on testosterone. I mean, because honestly, he'd be a fool not to, because there's going to be a huge difference in the sizes of us anyway. So he's going to want every bit of strength he can. And Chili, if you're watching, I recommend, dude, that you get jacked up, because I'm going to beat the piss out of you either way. So you probably you want as much testosterone as you can, so you can make it last a little longer than it will anyway. I don't really care if he can jack. He can literally come in looking like a pin cushion with Winstrol and testosterone sticking out of his ass, and I don't care. Let him jack up. I don't care.
The other advantage that you have over him is his heavy 420 smoking he does.
Oh yeah. He's
going to get winded.
Oh, have you not? Did you guys see those videos of his sprints?
Yeah.
Did you guys see that? Like, I mean, am I the only one that thought that? Like, I mean, maybe just maybe he done like a bunch of before he started recording. I don't know, so I don't want to say. But did anybody else was there any of that moment where you go, oh my god, like I really anticipate this guy being in pretty decent shape?
Yeah.
And he was like, dude, he was walking back up to his camera, and it was taking him minutes to be able to recover from one probably 30, 40-yard sprint.
Right.
I'm like, dude, you probably really I'll start running a lot, because I can promise you my big ass can do that, and I'm a lot stronger than you, and I could still have a lot better win than you already.
And he probably eats like a lot of fast food.
Frankie is in the house. Frankie, you just not getting here, dude? I'm actually kind of surprised.
Could I interject when you're done?
Yeah, please. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I kind of.
Go ahead, finish. No. I just want to. I don't want to. I want to say what I had to say before I get disconnected.
Yeah,
Again.
go ahead. I was just rambling. Go ahead.
No, it's cool. Number one, I appreciate your training and everything. 30 years ago, I went to school pro wrestling. I feel your pain. You know.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I was 20 years old then, so. I have an idea to make an action figure of you. Remember I mentioned that?
Yeah.
Okay. I used to make custom Star Wars figures, G.I. Joe, but my buddy that lives in Findlay, Ohio, he still does it.
Awesome.
And I can't do it anymore because I only got used to my right hand. So I would like to make a figure for you, and I don't know if you want to keep it or you can auction it, I guess.
That's absolutely
for St.
awesome.
Jude's. It'd be up to you.
That is awesome. I'll be honest with you, something that personal, I would be really, really liking to keep that, to be honest.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking,
everybody
you
wants
know,
an Educator action figure. I think everybody'd like one.
Legicator action figure. I have to say, I've never had anybody offer to make an action figure out of me. So, yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
I was thinking Road Dogg Jesse James for the base figure. What do you think?
I'm trying. Which one? You talking about the?
Oh, you didn't know? Yes.
Oh yeah. Absolutely, sure, whatever.
And you know, Legicator down the side of the pants.
We're Franklin traffic.
Sure, absolutely.
And I could probably find a title belt close to what you're gonna get.
You know what? You'll probably have to do some customizing on that, because I think you're going to be shocked at what this belt's going to look like. It is absolutely badass. Like, no kidding. I wasn't even supposed to see it. I'm not going to lie. I wasn't even supposed to see it. But when I seen it, I was like, oh my God, are you serious? This is the coolest title belt I've ever seen. I'm talking better than IBF, WBC boxing titles. Way better than those.
Do you still get it if you don't show up?
No, I've agreed not to do it. I actually told him that I won't accept it without a real win.
Okay.
So what they've actually said is, if he doesn't show up, they're just going to use it like kind of a propaganda type thing for the organization.
Yeah,
which is fine with me. That's great. I think it's great.
You guys have a good night. I got
school I went to. They had all title belts they made.
Oh, I got you. Scumdog, is that you rolling out, buddy?
Yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm rolling out for the night. You guys have a good night and have a good rest
nice
of the day
meeting
tomorrow.
you, man.
Thanks for coming, man. We appreciate it. Thanks for coming.
I'll see you in the chat.
Yep.
See you, Scumdog.
Yeah, so I'll keep in touch with you.
Absolutely.
I wanted to get your okay first.
Well, sure, absolutely, buddy. I think that's
I'm
honored.
You know, if I can find these, you know, it's kind of hard. He's not in wrestling anymore, so I got to search eBay.
Mm-hmm.
But if I can find, you know, him pretty, you know, reasonable, I'll get 2, and I'll make you 2 for your sons.
Awesome.
Have a figure of their dad, you know, put in their room, you know.
That's awesome, man. I really, really appreciate that. That's a wonderful sentiment. I really appreciate that.
Well, you know, I thought I'd help.
Have a good night, buddy. I just seen that.
You know, I don't have money right now, so I can't donate. So waiting on my disability payment of 4 years.
I definitely appreciate the gesture, man. I think that's awesome, really.
No problem, man. I mean, you know, after watching you with Chili, and Chili's just, you know, man, he's exhausting.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I can't watch him. When I watch him for more than just a few minutes, it gets my blood pressure up.
Oh, I understand. you know, and then I watched you on the chats, and I'm like, this dude ain't a cop. What?
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, you know, if me and you sat in a bar, they would think I was a cop before you.
Yeah, I've actually. I remember years ago, I went to a bar. It was like a Wednesday night, and I just went in to stop and have a drink. I'm not a drinker. I mean, even back then I wasn't. I just, for whatever reason, just wanted to drink a cold one. And I stopped in and got shooting the breeze with this guy sitting at the bar. You know, we talked for a couple hours. You know, just having a couple beers or whatever. And he says, so he's like, "Where you work at, dude?" And I said, well, actually, I work here for the city. He goes, "Oh, okay." He's like, "I know some guys work for the city." And he was talking about like the street department, so on and so forth. And I said, "Oh, yeah." I said, "Yeah, I know who that is. I know who that is." He's like, "Oh, you work for a street department?" I said, "No, no." I said, "I'm a police officer." He's like, "You're a police officer?" I was like, "Well," I was like, "not much of one, I guess." I mean, I was like, I said, "I don't really know how good of a police officer I am." I said, "But yeah, they pay me to do it." He's like, "That's awesome." I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "I would have never guessed you were a cop." Oh,
Yeah, I used to get that a lot. My wife thought I was a cop. She was my bartender.
Is that right?
And when I first came in there and everything, everybody thought I was a cop. Even though they were cool to me, I'm like, how do you get cop from me? I don't know. But it is what it is. But I figure, you know, do this because, you know, it's for St. Jude's, and it's, you know, it's all for a good cause. I mean, Chili's the second good cause.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. When I very first agreed to this, my whole thing was, I'm not a thug, and I'm not going to fight him on the street like some turd. But if you want to do something for a good cause, and you want to generate some funds for something that really is precious, then hey, you know what? I'll take an ass whooping for St. Jude's. Yeah, what's the worst case scenario? Even if he beats me, I still done my part. You know, I can say this. My dad passed away a few years ago, and I remember as a little kid, every time a St. Jude's, and my dad was a hard man, like very hard man. And I remember every time a St. Jude's commercial would come on, he'd say, and I would watch him, and he would, and you could tell he would just kind of get stone faced, and you could see his eyes kind of tearing up, and he'd say, "I can't hardly stand to watch that." I said, "What do you mean, Dad? You know, I was a little kid." And he explained that to me. And he said, "If I ever become wealthy enough to where I can make a difference," he said, "I would make sure I would do something positive for St. Jude's." So when this come to the time, and somebody, and I said that my first thing was I want to do the FOP, and the reason I knew that was not going to fly, I said that in my video to begin with because I wanted to get back to him to piss him off, because I knew that if I pissed him off, his ego wouldn't allow him to leave it alone. So I said the FOP just so he would counter offer, but my intention from the get go was St. Jude's because that's what I really wanted to do in honor of what my dad would have wanted to do. So that's kind of where all that came from. And even if he beats me, I still win.
You know, you kidding?
Yeah, that's how
yeah, and it ain't gonna happen, bro. He's all talk. He's what, 2 years younger than me. He grew up in the 80s. I've seen people like him before. So many times. Different faces, same, you know, maybe not the grifting, but a POS nonetheless, you know.
Right.
And that's all talk.
Yep. I think he is.
You know, I was a big guy. I used to get picked on in the bar by the shortest guy because he had something to prove.
Yeah.
You know, I never looked for fights. You know, I just, you know, if a fight started, I broke it up, and, you know, I played bouncer, you know.
Bob, I got to ask, what do you mean if I did what? If I since you said Charlie Z, you got my attention because I think that's hilarious. He said I'm no better than Charlie Z if I did that.
Are you on Facebook?
I am on Facebook. I'll tell you this: my Facebook, I leave. I'm going to level with you. I leave that very, very private. I only have a handful of people, and I've only got like 300 friends because
all good.
The reason being is because that's a lot of pictures of my children and stuff that I really
I fully understand.
I just what I usually do is everything that I do on here, I kind of make this more about me. And as far as everything goes on Facebook is usually more about my family generally. So, but yeah, it's and I'll tell you, I never dreamed that I would have, this many people reach out to me. I'm blown away. You know, like I've
Dude,
had.
you're genuine. You know, you're real.
Well, I
You know,
appreciate
you get, you know, you say what you say, you know, have to say, and you know, and you're like today, you said if he came in the chat, you'd let him up here.
that. Sure. Yeah.
You know, he wouldn't do that if you went on his chat.
Yeah, I don't have any reason. Like I said, I've openly said this. I don't hate him. I have no reason to hate him. I don't hate anybody.
No, because you really don't know him. You know,
Right. I think I'll be honest with you, and this is just my opinion. I'm sure people are going to laugh at me for this, but there's part of me that feels sorry for him, and there's part of me that honestly wants to grab a hold of him, and kind of give him a shaking and be like, "Dude, stop, man."
at that age, he ain't gonna stop.
And I know, I know, but
you know,
I'm just
he's been
saying,
doing this for years.
right. But I mean, there's part, you know, when I've said this before in another stream in the past, but do you guys remember the video where I guess he and Josh had their falling out, and he posted about how he had real friends? You know what I mean? Whatever. Terry, you remember what I'm talking about?
Yes, I remember hearing about it. I don't watch it, but I heard about it.
Well,
Look at the way he talks to people. No wonder.
Yeah,
and
honestly, it was something that really kind of it bothered me. I'm not gonna lie. Like there was a moment where I was like, this dude, honestly, he needs somebody to come up and give him a hug and be like, you know what, God loves you, man, and you've got a real charismatic face and ability if you would really use it. Stop this nonsense. Stop trying to get over on everybody and taking advantage of people, and start using what you got to be able to do something positive for people. Because you could really do something good. But I just, you know, and I really wish like crazy, you know.
You know, he was an actor, okay?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And he looks like an actor, you know. I mean,
yeah, I mean he's a good looking dude. Like I give it to he's definitely
he got that chiseled face and everything.
Sure,
I'm not getting, you know.
Oh,
I mean,
are you kidding? I'm married to Barbie, bud. I'm very, very secure in my.
Yeah. Well, that's true.
So.
My wife's half my weight, and I could roll around in bed and kill her, and we still make it work. You know, no, my wife's a trooper.
Joe, are you referring to my? I'm reading this. Thanks for sharing your story. This makes look good. Man, that's awesome, man. I'm assuming you're talking about the story about St. Jude's. About my dad, I'm assuming. If you're talking to me, I may be wrong. You may be talking to me in the chat. But you know, I have to say, man, you know my wife from somewhere, Lisa. Yeah, she's something else. My wife is tiny little thing. My wife is I think she's 5'4". I think she's 5'4" and like 115 pounds. She's tiny little thing. And I'm 6'2", you know, 260. So I'm
5'10", to maybe 270 now.
Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah. I landscaped my whole life. I did construction, rode heavy equipment. I did manual labor, so I never had to go to the gym.
Right.
You know, there was no reason for it. And I never worked out. Even when I was wrestling, I just went through the normal things. I didn't really get in there and, you know, like you are. I didn't get in there that much, but I was a lot, you know, 30 years ago, I weighed 200, maybe 190.
Right.
Probably less even.
Hey, Captain, I don't mean to interrupt y'all, but I just got a message from Tina Slay saying that she got a phone call she had to take, and she wanted me to let y'all know she said good night and let everybody in the chat know that she said good night.
Oh, that's awesome. Good night, Tina.
Good night, guys. I'll tell you, you know, the biggest thing that I've noticed too, though, is with staying, like, as far as staying in the gym and stuff, is when I don't feel good. Like, I mean, you know, I did labor before and stuff. Like, I actually had, you know, a job where I was laboring and stuff. But I never felt good unless I'm, like, in the gym and working out and stuff.
Yeah. It's a different kind of workout, I guess, you know?
Right.
But now you're going to do good. I figure on that figure on one leg as an educator, on the other leg, Chili Destroyer.
Oh, that would be awesome, man. I definitely appreciate
You
it.
know, I was thinking of another one, but it'd probably be too long for it. Maybe I'd be put on the back of your shirt. You know, this cop don't stop till Chili's head pops.
That works for me, buddy. Don't matter to me.
Yeah, we'll somehow get together. I will need a couple pictures of you.
Sure.
You know, and then you have any tattoos on your arms?
Yeah, my chest is. I've got a scripture on my left chest. My entire left chest is Romans 13.
Well, the figure I'll have a shirt on, maybe it depends which one I use.
Yes, both shoulders are done too. I have when I went through Tactical Academy in 2011, I think, to join our SWAT SRT, we had to have a tattoo. So I got the SWAT eagle on my left arm, and I've got
cool.
I've got a on my right arm. I've got a tattoo that says Lead Slinger because I shoot competition. I'm a firearms and obviously educator. So I mean, I've always been a gun guy. So.
Well, yeah, I used to call you Lead Fist in chat.
yeah. Well, I hope I can bring the heat when it comes to fist.
Dude, you know, like I said, he ain't gonna show. I have no faith in he's gonna show.
Yeah. Well, let's hope.
And that's the sad part about it. But you know, even though he don't show, St. Jude's, it still made it work. You know, it still did something.
Wow, I want you guys to read this. Look at this. You know, and in New Zealand, you know, that's and you know our American police that are actually defending the rights that our people are and we're hated. So it's just sad, really sad.
I've never cursed at a cop in my life, even when I was getting, you know, pulled over for this or this and that. I had a cop friend that I used to hang out at a game room in Jersey. You know, and it was a cop that used to come there on a day, on the weekends, and he would make sure, you know, because it got crowded in there.
Mm-hmm.
And we were best friends. I used to go home, watch the wrestling pay-per-views, and his favorite wrestler was Big Boss Man.
Yeah.
And I would call him to let him know if the Boss Man won or didn't and what went on. And
Lisa, fast before I forget, Lisa, SRT stands for Special Response Team. Basically, it's a SWAT team. The difference in an SRT and a SWAT team is usually SWAT has they have access to helicopter, usually for entries and stuff, and that's something we didn't have. We done all of our entries high risk dynamic entries. So we had like hostage rescue. All of our guys were trained for making entries in houses and different buildings and stuff. That's kind of what we were for. I was the guy that made holes where there weren't. I was the one that blew up holes and blew doors down and stuff. So,
I live in the country. I don't, you know, the last time I seen a cop here is when I had my stroke. Yeah. And I was a sheriff.
Yeah.
And when I used to drive, I hardly seen cops around.
Yeah.
I was driving through the back streets like a Dukes of Hazzard.
Yeah.
Sometimes you pass a cop and they wave to you. You know, it's.
Generally speaking, guys, if you treat somebody with respect, you're going to get it back.
Yeah. And if you got a cop that's a hard ass, when you say hello and he goes, license insurance, you know, then just brush it off. You know, don't have court on the side of the road.
Yep. Well, you know what, Mark, he's going to get lead poison if he shows up, I promise. But you know what? I've run across policemen that are assholes. I mean, I've run across them and told them they're assholes. You know, as a matter of fact, just back last summer, I'll be honest. I was coming down and I was driving. I was off duty and I was over in West Virginia, and I'm coming around this intersection. This cop's kind of parked, and he's kind of parked in a really weird way, you know. And he had his lights on, I'm thinking, I can't tell what he's really shutting down here. Like I really couldn't tell. Like I couldn't tell what lane he was shutting down. So I went to where I thought was safe to go around him. And he like storms out at me because I kind of like put my hand up like, man, you know, sorry if I went the wrong way. And he kind of storms out at me. And he was like, can't you see I got the road closed down? And I was like, I was in a truck and I had my back slider open. And I said, Well, no, because evidently you don't know how to do it. And he's like, what'd you say? And he's kind of had an attitude. I said, let me tell you something, bud. I was like, I teach little kids like you and have for years. And I was like, don't get an attitude with me, son. I was like, I might have taught somebody who taught you. So you go about your way. And he was like, oh, sorry, Captain. I was like, yeah, now that you realize who it is, you know, but.
Well, I'm telling you, between you and Terry, you're making a difference more than, even though you live in a small town, you made more of a difference than Chili has. And none of you got paid for it.
You know
hey,
what?
Captain.
I felt so bad. I heard that, he records everything, Terry. This is for you. And I heard you on there saying, I'm tired of driving around. Nobody's paying me for gas. I didn't get the gas to do this.
Go ahead, Captain Terry.
Billy Lawrence wants the link. Is that all right if I put it up in the chat to him?
I was just getting ready to actually close down. My wife just gave me that look as if it's time to close it down, unless anybody else has anything to say. I'll tell you what, Billy, if you're interested, we will get you back up on the stream sometime this weekend if you're interested in it. And please, guys, keep in mind that what's coming up Saturday. Please, 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 let's make this big. Chili seems
I'll
to
be
think
there.
Some of his people seem to think that because we're smaller channels and stuff that we can't make the impact that somebody like him can. So let's prove them wrong, right? And I don't care about dollars. I really don't. I just want to see pour out. I want to see these chats so full that they have to slow the chat rates down because they're so full. That's what I'm asking. So that people see that we really are spreading a good message and stuff. Because I can tell you this, that right there, my pastor used to say, there's Jesus in that, man. That's what it's all about, right? So I'm going to give my guest, Ironton Auditor, you got your last word, sir?
Well, thank you for being you, educator, as always. And hello and goodbye to everybody out there in the chat. Stay with us and definitely join us coming Saturday, and we'll see what we can raise for St. Jude's. That's what it's all about.
Amen to that. Smitty, your last word?
Nice to talk to you again, Terry.
Always good to see you.
Chad, it was finally that I got my internet working. Finally to meet you and talk sort of face to face,
Sure, absolutely.
And I've been down on you, so I'm so happy I finally got I'm like, get in touch with you about this. So we'll make it.
Absolutely. And Smitty, you're cutting out on me a little bit there, but I'm going to go ahead and give the last word for the panel, guys. First of all, you guys know how much I appreciate you. I make that very well known in all of my videos. This is something that's way bigger than me. This is not about me stepping in a cage and fighting anybody. This is about a group of people that are wanting to do something positive. This is about a group of people that are stepping up to do something to prove that we can knock down walls and barriers. We are going to always stay positive. We're going to stay focused. Chili may not stop, but we don't quit. Keep that in mind. And we don't lose. We are going to do this. We're going to do great things. I ask for everybody to check out Ironton Auditor. Make sure, guys, listen, the way that these guys know that they're doing something that you guys like is by seeing those subscription numbers go up, those likes going up, because it's not about money. I don't make a dime. I'm not monetized. I don't care. But to know that people are actually interacting with my videos, it keeps me motivated and it keeps me excited. And that's what really does matter. I promise you guys, I will always do the best I can as a professional to always defend and uphold the constitutional rights, your constitutional rights. I promise you, I will always do everything to make sure that my position leaves my community in a better position for my children and yours. And I promise you, in September, I will go give everything I've got. With every bit of go in me, I'm going to bring it. I'm not stopping. I'm pushing hard every day. We don't quit. We don't lose. We absolutely will train like we fight so we can fight like we train. God bless you guys. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you Saturday.
Thank you. Be safe out there, man, please.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, guys.
Take care. Goodbye, chat.